lots of matches that are on the way. So running down the card, we got Chelsea Green returns to NXT to challenge Roxanne Perez for the NXT Women's title. We've got NXT champion Trick Williams. He's going to be appearing on Supernova Sessions. We've got Shayna Baszler returning to NXT to face Carmen Petrovic. And we've also got Michin coming to NXT to face Ariana Grace. So there's quite a bit of star power on this show tonight. There's quite a bit of stuff that's going down. We've got, as we said, Chelsea Green, we've got Shayna Baszler, we've got Michin, we've got Trick Williams. We've got all of those people on the show. Don't know what that's going to mean for ratings. I don't think the ratings for NXT have been brilliant recently. I don't think the ratings have been in a great place, but hopefully things are going to improve as we start kind of working our way with this new roster. Obviously, we've lost a lot of people, and we've kind of brought some people down from the main roster. You know, we've had Ivar around, we got Chelsea Green around, we got Michin around. Hopefully that's going to help with the ratings, but I'm not too sure. I think you really need someone that's got some serious star power like Becky, or you need someone with some serious star power like, say, Seth. You know, you need like a big name. You need someone that's really got something about them. So, I don't know. We'll have to see. But the Women's Championship being defended in the main event tonight against Chelsea Green, that's hopefully going to help, right? So, Kian, hello. Hope you're well. Kian said, Daze, I hope you're well. Having a good stream. How was your day? My day was all right, thank you. I've been up a few hours. Went to the pub. I was just talking about that on Wrestling Escape Pods. Just I showed the meal that I had, and I was chatting away. So if you want a little bit more of that sort of behind the scenes, what's kind of going on, that little bit extra stuff, Wrestling Escape Pod, I think, is very good for that. So yeah, I'm all right, thank you. I'm quite good. I hope you're well. He says, I'm not feeling myself. I had an argument with my cousin. Oh, it happens, but it happens. But these streams are going to help me when I'm feeling down, says Kian. Well, I hope things are obviously going to improve for you. I'm sure they will. You know, these things, they blow over. Certainly when it's family, you find that these things don't last forever. So I wouldn't dwell on it. I wouldn't worry about it. Don't even think about it. Just if you can, try and find a way, figure a way of getting it resolved. We're here for a good time, not a long time, and that's always worth remembering. Brony said, according to Corey Brennan from Fightful, Roxanne versus Chelsea is scheduled to main event tonight's episodes. Missy said, I wonder what was in the envelope that was teased to Trick last week. Now, apparently Noam Dar said that everything's going to be revealed. Everything will be revealed on the... everything will be revealed on the Supernova Sessions today. So we hopefully should get any answers people are waiting for. To be perfectly truthful with you, I have still not seen last week's episode. So I do feel a tiny bit out the loop. I mean, I've missed one episode. So I feel a little bit out the loop. So I don't know about the envelope situation. But what I do know is I saw Noam Dar saying everything will be revealed on Supernova Sessions. I think last week I'm right in saying there was a big segment that featured Lash Legend and Trick Williams. So I still want to catch up with that because that sounds like it was quite fun. So yeah, we'll find out more tonight. Brony said, I'm guessing they're going to pair Liv and Dom together, but they might wait a little while until Rhea is close to coming back. And then she returns as a face. Yes, I agree. I think, though, that there'll be lots of teases. I think this Liv Dom thing, they'll find a bit like White Rabbit, a bit like Nightbird. They'll just find ways of teasing things, right? And having little bits like last week we saw them both walking out of that room. This week, of course, it's got the bandana in her pocket. So people are just keeping an eye on, and it's great for Liv. It's keeping Liv in the conversation. And people are looking to try and see and decode what's the next little clue to show that they're together. And also, why are they together? Why are they together? What I mean, like, he's with Mommy. Why is he leaving Mommy to get to... Is Liv just playing Dom? Has she just, like, flirted with him and kind of... Is this just a way of getting more revenge on Rhea? I'm guessing she probably doesn't have feelings for Dominic. I'm guessing it's not a serious thing. I'm guessing it's a case that she just wants to take as much as she can from Rhea. You know, she wants to ruin Rhea's life. So, I don't know. Yeah, it's an interesting one. It's they're really invested in this thing. So, I'm down for seeing where we go. Joe said, Daze, what was America like? Because I'm going to go to Hogan's WWE shop. What was America like? That's a hard question to answer. I mean, what I would say is it depends where you go. Obviously, America is very big. It's got deserts. It's got mountains. It's got forests. It's got everything. I mean, it's such a big land. You know, I mean, it's so huge that depending, like, I think you can find whatever you want to find in America. But in Florida, and certainly in the tourist parts of Florida, it's quite wide roads. There's lots of restaurants, lots of gift shops. You do see a lot of the same sort of things. You know, you'll see a lot of McDonald's, a lot of Burger Kings, a lot of Wendy's. I mean, it's kind of the same everywhere, really. It's the same here. You kind of drive around here, you'll see a lot of the same sort of, you know, places. You can find little local places if you want to try and find them. Toy shops are very difficult to find. Most figures are in like Walmart and Target and places like that. I thought Target was rubbish. Target was a big letdown for me. But Walmart was pretty good. So if you're looking for figures, I mean, what I would say, unfortunately, and this really is a downer, unfortunately, it seems like most things are online now. It seems like the honest answer is, if you really want to find some good stuff, then go to eBay. Like, it does feel like everything has just gone online. And that's true if you think about it. Imagine a world with no internet. Imagine a world with no eBay. And imagine a world with no Amazon. And think of all of those products that would have to go to shops. If you want to sell them, you're going to have to put them into shops. You know, and then think about how many more toy shops there would be, how many more collector shops there would be, and toy figure shops there would be, and all of that stuff if we didn't have eBay, we didn't have Amazon. I mean, I'm very fortunate to grow up at a time where there wasn't an internet and there wasn't an eBay. But saying that, I don't think that we were making the same amount of stuff that we're making now. It feels like we make so... I mean, you can... Back then, you know, they used to make so many figures a year. Like Hasbro figures. I mean, I'm sure the LJN figures in the 80s, I think they only ever made like 60 odd. And probably about that same number of Hasbros. So, you know, you go back and you think about how many figures would come out a year. There was probably like, I don't know, 20 figures that would come out a year. That was it. 20 figures a year, right? That's nothing, is it? If you compare to how many Mattel figures come out now. It's probably like 200. It's probably like 200 different figures a year if you include the battle packs, the basics, and all of that stuff. Like, everything's just ramped up. Everything's just gone to 11. Everything's just been turned up. And, you know, thankfully we have got an eBay now, which means when people are selling stuff, you can, like, find things. But unfortunately, what that means is most things go there rather than into shops, and so there's not that many shops. But you can still find some toy shops if you really want to find some. What I would say about Hogan's is it's all pretty much Hogan. You will go in there and find, like, the odd Macho Man shirt. You will go in there and find the odd Ric Flair item. You will find the odd Andre the Giant item. There are other non-Hogan items that you can find, but 95%, if not more, is just Hulk Hogan. It's different shirts connected to his career. There's shot glasses. There's pictures all on the wall. Loads of signed stuff. Loads of Hogan figures. just loads of Hogan stuff. I mean, it is his shop selling his merch. But what's good is it's official merch. It's not like stuff that he's gone to get made. It seems like it's stuff that like companies have made, like Mattel, for example. You can get proper Mattel figures there. You can get proper merch that they sell on WWE shop of Hogan in his shop. It's not like you go in and it's just Hogan's beat shop, like bits that he's had made. It's all proper official stuff that you can even buy from WWE. So, and there's some amazing old stuff in there. There was like a Hulk Hogan workout set from the 1980s that you could buy for a lot of money. It was signed, but you could get that, and there was old figures, old Hasbros, signed Mattels, signed posters. So much stuff, man. So much stuff. It's a great place to go. The one in Clearwater or the one in Orlando, I would say Orlando was bigger, and I definitely recommend any wrestling fan go. It's brilliant. It's so worth visiting. Depending on how you feel about Hogan, of course, you know. I think we're all a little like, oh, don't know, you know. It's been pretty rough, but I went in and as soon as I walked in, I couldn't help but just get overwhelmed with nostalgia. You know, I grew up with Hogan being the man. Hogan was the guy. Hogan was my John Cena. He was my Roman Reigns. You know, back in the 80s, Hulk Hogan was everything. And he was never my favorite. He was never the guy that I always loved. I loved the Warrior, actually. I was always more a Warrior fan. And I remember even as a kid watching WrestleMania 3, hoping that Andre would win. I was more into Andre than I was into Hogan. And I was more into the Ultimate... Well, I wanted Warrior to win at 6. I wanted Andre to win at 3. I wanted Warrior to win at 6. I think I wanted Hogan at 7. Sergeant Slaughter being like aligned with like the Iraqi sympathizer and all that kind of stuff. I was too young to know what that really meant, but I wanted Hogan to win that one. I wasn't really bothered who won out of Hogan and Sid at 8. And obviously we didn't even know he was in the match with Yokozuna at 9 until it happened. So yeah, it's kind of... My history with Hogan is that he's not my favorite wrestler, but I think he's still, for me, I still think he's bigger than Stone Cold. I know people disagree, but I just think Hogan was around longer. Stone Cold had a bigger impact in the short time that he was on top, but he had a bigger impact in that shorter time. But for me, growing up, it was all just Hogan. Year after year after year, Hogan was the man, you know? Even when he wasn't in WWF and he was over in WCW, he was still the guy that always got mentioned because of the NWO. I mean, it's a hell of a career that he's had. So it's definitely a place I'd recommend going. It's going to smack you in the face with nostalgia. And yeah, but I can't say there's like other places like that, if you will. There's some really good toy shops, though. Some really good toy shops. But you've really got to travel to them, you know. But it's good. I think you'll enjoy it. Food's great. People are friendly. Weather's great. Lots to do. Parks to go to if you want to. Don't even need to do that if you don't want to. You know, if you don't want to do the parks, you can just go to different shops or do a bit of sunbathing or go to a water park. I mean, it's just filling your time in Florida is just no problem whatsoever. You could spend a month there. If you've never been to Florida, you could honestly spend a month there. You could easily do all the parks. You could easily do Disney. You could easily do Universal. You could hit a few Walmarts. You could go over to Tampa. You could pop down to, like, Miami. You could easily do, like, you know, Busch Gardens and go to Gatorland. And do you know what I mean? Like, there's just so much to do. So much to do. I would say my biggest tip would be have a good look, do a lot of research before you go and really figure out what you want to do. I just said to Tommy, actually, I came back from Florida and I'm kind of kicking myself a little bit because I found some really good toy shops at the end of my time there. So as my time was coming to an end, I found some really good places. And I really wish that I had dug into that a bit more before I went. I wish I'd gone to them at the start of my trip and then found some other places like that, because I think there would be some other places like that. I've got a feeling I went to the best. I think I went to the best, but I think there would be a few other places that I might have missed out on. So I don't know. It's one of those. It's always good to want to go back, you know, and maybe not feel like you've still not seen everything, you know. So yeah, I love America. Love it. Had such a fun time. It was lovely going around, lovely warm weather. But, you know, I really did miss streaming, and I really did miss doing this. You know, it's why we've come back and hit it as hard as what we have. You know, we've not missed the beat with the streams. We're back doing Unseens. We've done opinion videos. We've done review videos. Like, we're right back on it, aren't we? We're all over it. So it's good. It's a lot of fun. I hope you have a great time. Joe said, are you going to watch the Tyson Fury fight on the 18th? Yeah, I want to. What I've not had a chance to sit down and do yet is map out my Saturdays. So obviously I know that we're definitely doing King and Queen of the Ring on that Saturday. I think there is an NXT show that's coming up as well. We'll definitely be doing that also. So then it's my first point is to go, where's the wrestling shows? Bang, 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 get them into the calendar, and then it's a case of like, right, we're not doing anything there, we're not doing anything there, and then fill in the gaps accordingly. But I've said before, my priority is to get like the wrestling shows in the calendar, because that's what we are, you know, we are a wrestling channel first and foremost. And honestly, I think since we have kind of adopted that mentality, I think that has been a massive positive. I think there's a couple of things that have changed on the channel in recent times that has really helped the channel. I think putting wrestling first obviously has helped, because there were a few occasions, not loads, but there was a few occasions where, you know, wrestling would struggle against like a big UFC show, or wrestling would struggle against a massive boxing event. And so sometimes then it was a hard decision to make, whereas a long time ago, I've made my mind up, it's always going to be WWE first. So I think that's helped. And I think the other thing that's helped is the fact that we don't have any other distractions now. You know, I'm really not looking to do Olympics and football and cricket, and you know, we went through a period where we were really digging into that, and it was a lot of fun, and I am going to miss not doing those kind of things, but I just think it took me away from the wrestling too much. You know, I've learned a big lesson, I suppose, in the past 6 months or so, that like it's not just about the streams. In order to really help the channel grow and to reach more people, like, you do need to be doing videos as well. And for the longest time, we did streams and reactions, and that was it, really. Whereas now that we're doing Unseen, and we're doing Nightbird videos, and we're doing reviews, and we're doing opinion videos, it does feel like we're really getting a lot of content out there. It's good. I absolutely love it. So some big lessons have been learnt, and I'm not looking to deviate away from those. Kian said, I've taken some time off Instagram because I was on it every day and I cannot get off it. But now that I've been off it, I feel like I've done a good thing and I can clear my head. Yeah, taking a break from social media is definitely a good thing to do once in a while. LJE said, I'm guessing we're expecting more QR code stuff. I'm in New Zealand. NXT isn't shown live, so this will be my source as to what's happening, says LJE. LJE, shout out to you. I am personally not expecting anything tonight. I'm going to be honest with you. It's not in my best interest, is it, to tell you that? Because obviously people being around, joining in the conversation, you know, people sharing their thoughts, that's obviously beneficial. But I will honestly tell you the truth. And the truth is, I'm personally not expecting. It doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. It absolutely could happen. But I'm actually not expecting it. The reason why I'm not expecting is because I think that we didn't get anything on NXT until, am I right in saying, last week? I don't remember anything happening on NXT before. And then last week we got a QR code. And I think that might have been because we were building towards Backlash. And so now that Backlash has been and gone, I'm thinking things might settle back down. And then on the go home episode of NXT, as we go home to King and Queen of the Ring. So in that final week, I think we get one then, but I don't know that we get one tonight. it's a lot. If the amount of work that goes into those QR codes, I said it last night, is staggering. I mean, it really is impressive. It really is impressive. Like, the amount of work that goes into those codes, I really wouldn't blame them for just doing them on Raw and SmackDown. Like, trying to do 2 a week is a lot, but trying to do 3. Like, there's a lot of hidden stuff in the source codes, and there's a lot of messages. There's, like, you know, and we don't just want them to exist for the sake of existing. You know, we want them to have a purpose. So I am fine with there being no QR code tonight, and I'm leaning towards not expecting one. But as I said, if we get one, brilliant. I certainly won't be down on it. But yeah, so that we're all on the same page, I'm not thinking we get one. Joe, shout out to you. James said it's crazy how people can get mad at someone telling a true story of what someone actually said. James, did you see that I'm going to tell you a true story of what's actually happened? And what's actually happened is PSG have got out the Champions League. I love it when Paris Saint-Germain get knocked out. PSG have spent so much money. So have Man United, but they're allowed to because I support them. But PSG have spent a load of money, and they have just signed a load of big names to try and win the Champions League. And I was actually in Orlando Airport, right? When was it? Wednesday? Last Wednesday. I was in Orlando Airport. And on the screens, they were showing PSG versus Dortmund. You've got to remember that it's 5 hours behind over there. So as I was leaving in the middle of the day, it was actually like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night in England. So over there, it was earlier. And I was getting ready for the flight back, and they were showing the game. And I was watching it, hoping that Dortmund would score, because I don't like the idea of PSG spending a load of money and winning the Champions League. I'd much rather a team like Dortmund that don't have that same level of money could do it. Am I a hypocrite? Yes, absolutely. Of course I am. I'm a Man United fan, right? But it doesn't mean that I still don't want to see, like, the underdog succeeding, you know? So I wanted Dortmund to win. And they won 1-0 last week. And then tonight it was they had to go to Paris. And it was like, could they do it in Paris, or would they get eliminated? And they ended up winning 1-0 tonight as well. So they go through, and Paris gets knocked out, and that's it. They're done for another year. Hilarious. So that was good. I was I caught the very end of that as I was setting up the wrestling escape pods. I know I watched it. LFG Dortmund, said James. Wrestle with Andy said, Days, now after Mania has happened, do we think that Roman has now surpassed Cena? What do you think? I think that's a really good question. My answer is no. But what do you think? Because if you say yes, I might change my mind. No, my answer is no. I just feel like John Cena, for whatever reason, was known around the world. Everyone knew John Cena. He was this massive star. He seemed to break into pop culture, and there seemed to be more merch. And I feel like if you went up to someone in the street and said, do you know John Cena? They would say, yeah, I know John Cena. If you say, do you know Roman Reigns? I don't know that Roman Reigns has got the same name recognition. My mom would know John Cena. She would probably know Roman Reigns. That's not going to be it's probably not the best example, but I don't think that, say, my mom's friends would know Roman Reigns, but I think they would have heard of John Cena. So I am going to say no. I think for what he's achieved, his achievements are very interesting. But then saying that, John Cena is a 16-time world champion. Roman Reigns is not, but he's had longer reign. The longer reign is probably more impressive, but I don't know. Perhaps it's because he's done, what, 10 years? I mean, he debuted, 2012? Here we are. Well, it was the very end of 2012, wasn't it? Survivor Series 2012. So, can't really count 2012. If you count 2013, we're looking at about 10 and a half years. About 10 and a half years for Roman. And And for Cena, it was a hell of a lot longer. I think it's that longevity. I think the longevity of Cena is what has made a big difference. You know, Cena right now, this is his, he debuted in like 2002, going into 2003. Here we are. So, I mean, it's over 20 years. It's over 20 years. So it's just over 10 years for Roman. It's over 20 years for Cena. And I think that's 20 years of Cena being spoken about consistently and spoken about a lot and being like, you know, even if he's not in WWE because of what he's done in films and everything, he's just reached a whole new audience, hasn't he? So I think it's difficult because if you're talking about star power, no, I think Cena's bigger. If you're talking about achievements, Cena's might be bigger. If I'm doing a Mount Rushmore, I think I'm putting Cena on before I'm putting Roman on. I'm putting Hogan and Stone Cold on before I'm putting Roman on. Yeah, that's true. I'm definitely putting Stone Cold, Hogan, Rock. Would you put Rock above Roman? I think you probably would have to. But then, has he surpassed The Undertaker? I don't even know if Roman's surpassed The Undertaker. I mean, would you put Undertaker on a Mount Rushmore? And I'd put Cena ahead. I honestly, I think there's an argument Roman's like top 10, but I don't even think he's in the top 5 of like biggest stars and achievements and everything. I don't think he's in the top 5. Big statement, innit, eh? Big statement. Who's putting him above Stone Cold? Who's putting him above Stone Cold? Is he even above Ric Flair? I mean, if we go wrestling, I mean, you're opening it up to a whole kettle of fish then. If you just stick to WWE, Hogan, Stone Cold, Cena, Rock, Undertaker, that's a hell of a list. And do you know who Hogan's first answer is whenever you talk about Mount Rushmore? His first answer is Andre the Giant. That's not a bad shout, is it? That's not a bad shout. The problem with Andre is he was known around the world. He had name recognition. He wrestled all over the world. He was a massive draw. But you can't point to all the PLEs that he debuted, that he was like headlined. You can't, because they didn't have them. So you're kind of comparing such a different time. It makes it really hard if you want to compare achievements. But legitimately, he was one of the most recognizable sportsmen in the world, Andre the Giant. He was one of the most recognizable sportsmen in the world. I think you've got to have him in the conversation, even if you think that Roman has replaced Andre. I think you've got to have him in the conversation. And if you want to give Roman his flowers, yeah, and we should, this is such an amazing period for them, so profitable, you know, and you've got to say the Bloodline and Roman have played a massive part in that. I think for me, and maybe it's just because we're going through it, it feels like he's helped us get somewhere, but now it feels like we're there. I feel like we're there now. He's helped us get here, but now it feels like we're eating, and it's, you know, that's the end of his run. I feel like he has built this house, but it's only now that we're living in it. So that, you know, it's a little bit like, I suppose in a way, it's a bit like Brett, how Brett kind of played a massive part in helping us get to the Attitude Era. And he really did. I mean, if you think about his match with Stone Cold, which I know Wrestle with Andy absolutely loves that match, and I agree. And then you think about the Montreal Screwjob and what that did. Right, you think about and just Brett being the amazing competitor that he was as well, right? Loved around the world. Brett plays a massive part in us getting to the Attitude Era, but then he walks away. At that point, he goes to WCW. They don't use him, right, and his contribution is over. I feel like a little bit like that's what Roman's just done. He's just helped set the table. He's got us to the dance. We're at the dance, and now he's nowhere to be seen. You know, he's part of that Cody moment, But I wonder how history will remember this period, because Triple H came out and Steph came out, and they were in no doubt that WrestleMania 40 was the beginning. This is where it begins. This new era begins tonight at WrestleMania 40. That's what they told us. But that happened to be the last time that we've seen Roman as well. So we finally got to the dance and Roman's nowhere to be seen. So I think that for me has to be taken into consideration as well. He's got us to the dance. He's helped us get here, but he's going to miss out on all the reward, if you will. He's going to miss out on the feast. So if he was more active, if he was more around, if we were to see him more, and maybe then he would be higher in my estimation. But I don't know that he makes my Mount Rushmore at the moment, to be honest. I think you've got to put Stone Cold and Hogan ahead, and then you've got question marks around Cena, around Undertaker, around The Rock, and then at that point I'm getting to Roman, and I'm still going, what about Andre? What about Triple H, who also has made a massive certainly if you add Triple H in as Booker as well, and what he did in NXT, oh my God, then we're going down a whole different conversation. Then all of a sudden Triple H's stock goes through the roof. It's a really good question. Love that. But also not one that I can give a good answer on. Big Time said, how was Raw? I tuned out for the show, mainly because it was just not a show that appealed. I did take some inspiration with your mindset with AEW and just not hate watch, says Big Time. Well, Big Time, I hope that helps, to be honest, because I think that I'm not just saying this, I really am enjoying not watching AEW, and I'm not saying that to be nasty. I'm not saying that to cause trouble. I'm not saying that to divide the community. I'm not saying that to, I'm not saying that for any reason other than it's me just being completely transparent, completely honest. I love watching Raw. I love watching NXT. I love watching SmackDown. I love hanging out with you guys. I love doing the videos that we do. And nothing about this is a chore. And what I found was AEW over time became more and more of a chore. It was one of those where I would start and I really didn't want to watch something and be down on it because I know people were joining us that enjoyed it. So I didn't want to be like, this is trash, this is garbage. Even though there was a lot about it I didn't enjoy, there was still things I was trying to find, and that list was getting smaller and smaller. And so for me, it just got to the point where I was like, I've got to stop. I can't keep doing it. Like, I can't just tune in for the one or two things that I enjoy because I'm having to sit through an hour and a half of stuff that I really don't. And I think you get to the point where you go, do you know what? This isn't for me. This isn't for me. And you've got an option at that point. You can either continue watching and just lay into it, and people are making good money by laying into Tony Khan, laying into AEW. Like, there's a whole industry there. There's a whole load of people that are just churning out that content, right? And for me, if this was new in the sense of AEW had just started to struggle, and then, it was kind of new. It's like, oh, where's this going to go? This is a problem. How are they going to turn it around? If it was new, then maybe this would be a different conversation. But the fact that this has been going on for so long, the fact that this decline, honestly, for me, I'm going to say that I started to feel this way at Brawl Out. Brawl Out is when this really started to take effect for me. I think the Brawl Out, that's when, there was the fight backstage, and then CM Punk got suspended, right? And then at that point, I think that we went through a real rocky period, and I remember distinctly saying, bear with them. bear with them because we're doing stuff we didn't plan on doing. You know, you take CM Punk out of the equation, lots of plans have to change. Like, everything's ripped up. They're, you know, let's stick with them. And I remember we put the belt, I think, on Dean Ambrose. He was going to go on holiday, but we made him champion. And I was waiting for things to sort of settle down again and them to find their groove and for us to kind of, you know, get back to a certain standard. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. For me, I don't think we found that standard ever again. I don't think we ever found it. I think that the brawl out completely derailed things. And then I think by the time Punk comes back, we're bringing him back with this roster split. We're bringing him back with Collision and Dynamite. And I actually think in retrospect, that was a massive change. That was a big moment. Before Collision, everything happened on Dynamite. You might get a few little bits that happened on Rampage. No one cared, right? But it didn't really matter, right? Whatever happened on Rampage was pretty small. Everything happened on Dynamite. If you watch Dynamite every week, you knew what was going on. You was aware of all the stories. All the big things would pay off there. You only needed to watch Dynamite. All of a sudden now, some of your favorite wrestlers aren't on Dynamite because they're on Collision. So all of a sudden now, you sort of do need to watch Collision, but there's not really the motivation to watch Collision. There's not really the motivation to want to watch two shows. And what it did was it watered down Dynamite because you're not getting all the stars that you was before. And Collision's come along and it's on a Saturday, and as I said, I don't think the appetite was there for it. I blame Collision for really, really fast tracking this decline. I really do. I think that the rot set in at Brawl Out. I think that they couldn't turn the ship around. I think that they probably could if Collision hadn't have come along, and then we got Punk back and we could have hopefully, you know, made everything sweet and then carried on. Maybe that would have been the way of fixing things, but we couldn't make things sweet. We brought in a new show. It split the roster. You weren't getting the full payoff on Dynamite like you was before. And then for me, boom, you know, that's it. I mean, at that point, you've signed your death warrant. Add in the fact that Triple H takes over from Vince and WWE gets red hot, and all of a sudden you've got an alternative to AEW that's arguably better now. Wasn't as good when Vince was in control, but now that Triple H has took over, it's cooking, you know, and it's just, you know, it's just been a nightmare scenario for them, hasn't it? So I think at that point you've got a decision, haven't you? Do you just continue watching if you don't like it, just hate it, join in with that whole community that just hate watch? Or do you take that step away? And for me, I wrestled with that for a while. And then at the end of last year, I decided to step away. And honestly, it's been so good since I've done that. So good since I've done that. But I know there's many of you that still enjoy AEW. And honestly, that's great. If you genuinely watch it and you genuinely enjoy it, brilliant. I mean, Tommy Toy Travels does the streams now. He does an amazing job. I would do nothing but urge people to tune into his channel and tune into his streams. He helps make it entertaining, right? If ever I want to watch AEW and actually have fun, I put that on in the background. But as I said, actually watching it myself week in, week out, it's been better not doing that for me. But, you know, that's just me. That's just me, everyone. To each their own. So it's probably worth doing it big time just to see how you feel. Just to see how it feels. See if it's better this way. See if you have a bit more fun doing whatever you're doing instead, you know. Tom said, wrestling was a lot bigger in the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s than what it is whilst Roman has carried WWE. I would say a lot of wrestlers are more well-known than Roman. Yeah, it's really difficult. I think part of the reason is because back then there wasn't as many channels as well. So, you know, wrestling was obviously had more views. It's hard because people might hear names on social media. I don't know how social media would play into things. We know that WWE's got a massive YouTube, got a massive Twitter, got a massive TikTok. We know their social media accounts are just absolute powerhouses. So I don't really know how that affects things. We didn't have that back in the day. But back in the day, what we had was, you know, only so many channels. no Netflix. We didn't have the internet. You know, so you just didn't have the options that you have now. There's like a billion different things that you can do. And back then, we just didn't have those options. So it meant that more people were finding wrestling and being aware of wrestling. And it's true. I mean, it felt bigger, even though it maybe wasn't making the same amount of money that it is now. I mean, the money it makes now is incredible, but, you know, a lot of that is down to ticket prices, to sponsorships. Don't know that that's down to the fact that it is reaching more people. They'll tell you it is because of social media, but I don't know, just because you've got a post that's been seen by people, is that information going in? You know, it's all well and good sharing a video of Roman, but someone could scroll and see it, but if they're not paying any attention to it, then you get the view, but does it go in? Does it matter? Has it affected them in any way? That's something that I think is very difficult to kind of know as to what effect it kind of has, social media. It's a very interesting conversation, though. It's a very interesting conversation. I wish there was a way of knowing the answer. I would love to know what the correct answer is. I wish there was a way of getting that. It'd be brilliant if we could just call up a list now and go, boom, here's the answers. And know where Roman sits on that list. Is he number 1? Is he number 3? Is he number 5? Is he number 8? Does it turn out there's like 7 more names that are actually bigger than Roman Reigns, you know? I don't know. Trent said, I think the hardest part for us to know who is the most known is that we've all been watching so long and we know everyone. Therefore, we don't know what it's like to be someone on the outside of it. That's true. That's a good point. Nicole said, question about the QR codes. Do you think Nikki Cross will recruit Alexa Bliss? I think Alexa will be a part of this. It's hard to say that Nikki's going to recruit her because that is definitely one way it could go, but it's not a guaranteed way that it's going to go. I can't say that I've seen anything that suggests that Alexa is going to be recruited at the moment. It's a theory that people have got that you've got the 5 and then you've got the, you know, people love that code, don't they? That UEJ, whatever, 51A. I mean, I think I've been sent that and have seen that more than anything else for the whole Nightbird campaign is that code. So people absolutely love that, right? So you've got the 5 on the one side and then you've got this 1 separate. So people are trying to figure out, what does that mean? Is it Alexa? I've seen another theory. Someone said they thought it might stand for Angel because of Bray passing. It might be the Wyatt 5 and then an Angel, which I was kind of like, that's cool. That's cool. I like that theory. I can't say that that's correct. I think I prefer the fact that the A stands for Alexa more. And Alexa not being around for so long and, you know, seemingly being saved for this makes me think that she will feature, she will play a part. But yeah, what part is that? Is she going to be recruited? Is she going to be a higher power? Is she going to be playing a different role? Is she going to be a victim? Is she going to be a target? But a target not to be recruited, but, you know, she did turn on Bray. We know that she turned on Bray at WrestleMania 37. There was never any kind of payback there. You know, they could kind of track her down. She could come back as the goddess for a little bit. And then they could kind of target her, start showing up as she's going about her business, you know, ultimately leading to her joining the group. But she could be a bit of a target at first. So it's very, very difficult to know, isn't it? There's not really anything concrete on that in the QR codes. But Tom said AEW's got a bloated roster. Tony Khan booking, the lack of stories, the amount of digs to WWE have made me lose interest. I want them to succeed, but I just can't watch them. All Collision is like AEW's SmackDown, says Jim. Stand and Fight said, I enjoy listening to Jim Cornette and Brian Last talk about AEW. You are correct, says Jennifer. The Brawl Out was the most exciting AEW had been for years, said Eric. James said, hating something for the sake of hating it is pathetic. On whichever side it is just stupid. I think maybe there's a little bit, you know, of, do you know what I was talking about earlier? I've not really thought about this, but I'm just talking out loud. But you know, earlier I was saying how I watched PSG lose in the football, and I was like pleased about it because they've got a load of money and they go and buy all these players, and they do it so they can like win the cup, you know. And I'd much rather see an underdog succeed. I wonder if part of it is that people know that like Tony is using his dad's money. They know that he's a rich man. He can buy whatever free agent he wants, you know. Maybe some of it, part of it, is that people don't want to see the shortcut getting taken, if you will. Like, they don't want to see a guy coming in spending this money. Oh, I'll have Mercedes, I'll have Osprey, I'll have Okada, I'll have Samoa Joe, I'll have Saraya, I'll have Paige, I'll bring in CM Punk. Here's money, 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 money. Perhaps some of it is people don't want to see that guy splashing that cash and then succeeding. Do you know what I mean? Like fast tracking his way to success, if you will, because money can help with that, of course. But as we've seen with PSG, money has to be spent in the right places. As we've seen with Man United are atrocious, and they've spent more money than anyone else, but they're absolutely atrocious. Got smashed 4-0 by Crystal Palace the other day. So they're atrocious, and they've spent like over $1 billion on new players. And, you know, if you haven't got the structure, if you haven't got the management structure, if you haven't got the people behind the scenes putting these pieces together in the right order, I mean, basically what we've done is we've bought a very expensive jigsaw puzzle, and then what we've done is we've thrown it on the floor, because no one seems to have the ability to put the jigsaw puzzle together to create the picture, the full picture that we've got, right? Instead, what we've done is we've thrown it on the floor and we've wet ourselves, right? And maybe that's a little bit like AEW. You know, they've bought all this amazing talent, and you could put it together to create a beautiful looking picture. But at the moment, it does feel like it's been thrown on the floor and Tony Khan has wet himself. So I haven't really thought about it that way. I don't really think about AEW that much, to be honest. But, you know, I've said before, I wish them all the best, because as much as you can look at it that way, the other way to look at it is that it is a place for wrestlers that have been released by WWE to find work. If you really don't like WWE, then there's an alternative that's there for you that you may enjoy. You know, there's an alternative there that you may actually get something out of. And, you know, I hope that people just enjoy wrestling. People enjoying wrestling and sharing their passion for wrestling. That's a positive, isn't it? Regardless of if they watch New Japan, Stardom. If I walked into a pub and there was a dude in there that watched Stardom, he didn't watch WWE, he watched Stardom, I would love to sit down and have a conversation with that person. I would love to. I wouldn't see them as an enemy, right? I wouldn't go, you watch wrestling, but it's not WWE. I'd be like, do you know what I mean? You'd go over and you'd be like, this is a great opportunity to learn some stuff. Like, when did you get into Stardom? Tell me everything you know. Like, who's been the best wrestlers? What's the best matches you've seen? How does it work? Like, what shows do they do a year? What are their big? I actually don't know the answers to that. I don't watch Stardom. But I would be very interested to sit down and talk to someone that's, that, you know, had that knowledge. And so, same with AEW. If I walked into a pub and there was someone there that loved AEW, they didn't watch WWE, I'd quite happily sit down and pick their brain and have a good conversation with them, you know. I wouldn't go in and see that person as an enemy. But I think that social media sort of portrays it that way, doesn't it? Social media sort of portrays it that we all have to be at each other's throats. This toxicity that's, I don't know, just it seems to exist online. I don't think it exists in real life. I don't think there's wars between WWE and AEW fans, you know. It just only seems to exist really online. So I'm not saying it doesn't exist. It clearly does. Right, I'm not doing an edge. It clearly does exist. There clearly is a war that's going on, right? I'm not stupid. But it's one of those where it only exists to the extent that you allow it to exist in your own lives. So if I was to walk into a pub and there was an AEW fan there and they were on their own, I was on my own, I'd happily go over and go, is that an AEW shirt you're wearing? Are you an AEW fan? And then they'd go, are you Wrestling Daze? And I'd be like, yeah. And they'd be like, oh my God, this is the greatest day of my life. And I'd be like, yeah, you know, I get that a lot. So that's how it would go. Of course, that's how it would go. Yeah, of course, that's how it would go. No, what would actually happen is they'd go, please leave me alone. I feel unsafe with you around. That's how it would actually go. Right. Shout out to WWE AEW fan. Hope you are well, my friends. Says, guys, I am ready for NXT tonight. I'm ready for NXT tonight, but for some reason it says that it's in an hour or not an hour. It says it's in a minute, and I don't appear to be anywhere close to actually witnessing it. I've still got some underground match going on. What's this? What the flip's this? It is still on the network, isn't it? If I want to watch NXT. May 7th. Let's click on that. Is this going to take me to it? Stand by for a live broadcast. Okay. I think I was actually in the wrong place. I think that was the problem. Right. Where are we? Let's make sure that we're all good. Freddy Cougar, shout out to you, my friend. Steven, shout out to you. Raymond, hello. Mosey the Wrestling Gods, hello. Clint Green, shout out to you, buds. And WWE AEW fan, welcome. Tom said there isn't a war. People make it out to be a war because that's what they want to happen. We should all live in harmony, enjoying wrestling with sunshine and rainbows on clouds with naked people. Let's go. I could definitely subscribe to that. Certainly the naked people part. And if I'm on like a different cloud with binoculars, like that. That's my dream of, that's my idea of heaven, that is. Right, Wesley came back last week, didn't he? So, Wesley, I don't know how long he'd been gone for. But, yeah, he was North American champ. And he had a good run with that belt, actually. So, yeah, he was defending on a regular basis. We're just seeing some highlights of him. Open challenges and whatnot. And then, of course, he picked up an injury. Tony said, have we talked about Liv joining Judgment Day? No. I think her going into Judgment Day would be very interesting. I don't know that it's kind of going that way. Would Judgment Day kick Rhea out? I mean, or would they kick Dominic out? Don't know. It feels to me like she's getting close to Dominic. Where that leads, very interesting. When was this bit? I'm in excruciating pain just standing in the ring talking to you right now. Oof. But this is, wow, we're just seeing like the surgery that he had and what he's been through. I may have flown too close to the sun. I am burned. But I rose from the ashes. This is a great video package, man. This was him returning with Oba Fett. He's going to get smashed. Welcome back, mate. Welcome back. Look who the champion is. You're going to get murdered. Right, we're backstage. Look, he's got tears running down his cheek as we've got people applauding away. Look, he's wiping them tears away. There's no crying in wrestling. What's this? Wesley is making his way to the entranceway, and out he steps. That was cool. That was cool seeing him backstage, kind of coming through the curtain with him. That was cool. He seems very emotional, doesn't he? Wesley, very emotional tonight. Welcome back, Wes. So Wesley is back in action. He will be kicking off the show tonight. Damian Priest could lead the Wolfpack version of the Judgment Day. He's a big Scott Hall fan, says Wrestle with Andy. Is it Josh? I think Tommy Toy Travels told me it was Josh Briggs. If it's not, it's his fault. He's lied to me. This better be Josh Briggs, otherwise I'm kicking off with Tommy Toy Travels. It is Josh Briggs. It is Josh Briggs. I knew it was. I never doubted him. Okay, Josh Briggs is making his way out. Did I know he was heel? I don't think I knew he was heel. There's a couple of people applauding Josh Briggs, but there's a fair few boos. Josh Briggs in the ring then, looking out at the crowds. JP Ville said the bisexual Wolfpack version of the Judgment Day. Jeremy said Roxanne retains the title. I believe she will drop the title around summer or fall. Nicole said Wesley is awesome. I came to play. Dortnight said there's seriously no point moaning about different wrestling companies. No one is forced to watch anything. I think Love Island is garbage, but there's no point me moaning about it daily when it's on. That's true. Perhaps that is the new war that we need to start, though. Perhaps we need to go after those Love Island fans. Have had it too easy, too long. Wesley is round the back of Josh, and he's throwing in some forearms. Working on the arm. He rolls Josh up and kick out there by Josh. Wes saying that was close. Duck underneath there by Wes. Over the top, trying to get Josh off his feet. Josh stomps down as Wes moves out the way. Between the legs goes Wes. He rolls through, grabs Josh, tries to get his head. Josh goes to the outside. So Josh goes outside the ring. To the outside goes Wes. Josh comes over, goes for a big boot, but Wes grabs his leg. We're on the outside of the ring. Big strike there by Josh. Grabs Wes. Smashes Wes into the side of the ring. And in the ring goes Wes as Josh rolls him. So he's got Wes and he's in control at the moment. First match. Oh, lovely head scissor takeover. Very nice by Wes. So, Wes versus Josh. Lands on top of Josh. Josh grabs Wes. He's going to look to... he's got him on his shoulders. He's got him on his shoulders, and he looks to drive him into the ring post. That's a lovely reversal there by Wes. Wes come round again, trying to take Josh over. Just a little bit off. He couldn't quite get his legs around Josh's head there. Josh had to sort of throw himself into the barricades a little bit. Josh gets back into the ring. Oh! Is that Killian Dane? Oh, is that Ivar? Oh, it's Ivar. I thought Killian Dane was walking down. It looked a little bit like Killian Dane, but it's Ivar in his sort of non-Viking attire. This is Ivar in his kind of playful casual wear. It's fun time, Ivar. That's what we've got here. Josh Briggs staring at Wes as Ivar makes his way out. Right. Daze, I know I'm not forced into watching AEW, but I tried to get the chance, but the shows just haven't been hitting. That's why I'm not watching. I don't like watching WWE. All I want is good wrestling. Yeah. Well, I mean, you're going to have this. It's going to happen, you know. You're going to find periods where certain brands grab your attention more so than, say, other brands. I think WWE are pretty good, pretty consistent for delivering what I want, though. And they have been since the early 90s. But, you know, it's undeniable there's been periods where WWE has been tough going, and we've spoken about them quite a few times. You know, the first time I remember it being a bit ropey for me was actually a few years in, around 95. I was still quite young, but it just really felt like it was lacking that star power around that time. When you're getting videotapes of what wrestling used to be, you know, back then I was still getting the videotapes of the old WrestleManias, and you're seeing the Warrior and the Macho Man and Hogan, and you're seeing all this, like, these massive stars. Diesel and Isaac Yankem, and do you know what I mean? Like, they just ain't gonna cut it, man. It's just not gonna cut it. I was not a Diesel fan at all. Sid, I was not a Psycho Sid fan. Didn't care about Sid in the slightest. Didn't care about Diesel in the slightest. I've never really cared about Sid, you know. Never really cared. I think the most I was engaged with him was when he was Sid Justice. That's probably when I cared about him the most. But even then, I didn't care about him. I think they could have done something good with him around that kind of WrestleMania 8 time. But he got Hulk Hogan'd. And it just didn't... he weren't around really long after that. And then he comes back, doesn't he? And then has a run as Psycho Sid. That was all right. I mean, it was all right. But it weren't. It weren't what it was. But then, of course, things pick up again as we start to build our way towards the Attitude Era. Attitude Era was exciting. Ruthless Aggression was good. But then we do have a little dip down again, you know. So you do get these periods where it's not always going to land. And as we keep saying, the pandemic, I mean... That was a rough time, man. I think, we saw how important fans are to wrestling with that French crowd. So I think a wrestling show that has no fans whatsoever, I mean, it was never gonna quite land, was it? But it was it's where the world was, you know. We had to do what we had to do. Ben Bailey said, I'm surprised that Wesley hasn't been called up yet. Feels like he's been in NXT for a long time. He's been injured, but he's only just come back. So, I don't know. I wonder if they were thinking about, do we just call him straight up? But perhaps they want to see how the injury holds. And, you know, if they're going to put him on the main roster, that's a big investment. Because you're building him up, you're giving him TV time's expensive. So the more TV time you're giving him, the more that you're exposing him, the more that you're building him up. You do need a return on that investment. And I don't know, perhaps they're just thinking this is a big injury that he's come back from. Let's see how he does with him being back, and let's see where we get with him, you know. Right, we are back to the show, and there's a bear hug that's been applied. Tahil said both have got good wrestling and promos, but both also have bad shiz too. Tom said Noam Dar has been on NXT for about 8 years. He will probably get called up before he wins an NXT title. I love Psycho Sid, said Mr. Quake. WWE AEW fan says AEW is like AAA in baseball. WWE is the majors. I am a fan of both. I hope Mattel are on the Civilian Ivar Ultimate Edition with special one-off packaging. Could you imagine? What a figure. What a figure. Kicks coming in there by... Oh, and a stomp there by Wes Lee. And over in the corner goes Josh. So we've got Michin tonight. We've got Shayna Baszler tonight. We've got Chelsea Green taking on Roxanne Perez. So we've got a fair few things to look forward to. We got the old setup as well for the stream because I haven't had a chance to do and update the NXT one. So we're slumming it tonight with the pre-Florida trip layout. It's not as good. Oof, big kick out there by Wes. Big kick out. That was kind of really cool how he flips him over and into a backbreaker. Yeah, that's really good by Josh Briggs. And that's a big kick out as well by Wes as well. Crowd making some noise, applauding away. Shot coming in there by Wes. Kick to the side of the head there by Josh. We got the Supernova sessions coming up tonight. So Wes in the corner. Crowd watching on. Oh, big kick there by Wes. That was pretty sick. Kick coming in there by Wes as Josh goes over by the ropes. Against the ropes goes Wes. Flips over. That was great. Love that kick. That means that Josh goes to the outside. I don't know where Ivar has disappeared to. But Wes going through the ropes. Suicide dive. Ivar jumping onto commentary. We've got Josh. We've got Wes. Ivar's like, I ain't getting involved. I ain't getting involved. Josh trying to grab a hold of Ivar. Wes drop kicks Josh into Ivar. Ivar's not going to appreciate that. He's not going to appreciate that. Right now, we've got Wes going up top. He's perched. He's getting ready to spin down. He lands on top of Josh. Looking for the pin. 2, 3, and it's a win for Wesley. Wesley has come back. He's picked up the victory, and we're going to do a poll for that first match. What did you think about that first one? That opening contest? Let's get your match score. All-time. Great. Good. Ivar brawling with Josh right now. So Ivar and Josh brawling away. Wes comes crashing down onto both. I don't know why he felt the need to get involved there. So Obafemi is watching on. Obafemi watches from that platform. Laughing his head off. Is Roxanne Perez. So Roxanne Perez with that NXT Women's Championship. There's Chelsea Green. Look at the smile on her face. So Chelsea Green. Again, it's a bit of a weird one, this, isn't it? I mean, Roxanne's a heel. Chelsea's a heel. Women's Championship being defended, though. Daze, I think it all comes down to people liking certain flavors. There's people like myself that just like wrestling. Some like heavy promos, and others like myself gravitate to creating moments and episodic TV, says Big Time. It's true, yeah, it's true. People do like different things, and I think you're always going to struggle to find... Some people find promotions that absolutely give them everything they want and they can't believe their luck, but a lot of people have to make like compromises, you know. Not everything on WWE is to my taste, and I'm sure not everything on WWE is to all of your tastes either. We all have to kind of take a bit of the rough with the smooth sometimes. Sometimes they're just cooking and everything's amazing. Rarely is there nothing. Rarely. But as we said, you know, go back to 2019. I definitely remember watching Raws, and the only good thing was Funhouse. I definitely remember that. I remember them conversations. I remember them streams. 5 years ago, that now. Mental. 5 years ago. It's actually scary when you think about it. It's really scary. It's like life's passing us by. It's just going. Life's going. 5 years. Think of what you could do with 5 years. It's been 5 years since the Firefly Funhouse. Right, we're just seeing the NXT Underground match from last week. That's bringing out Shayna Baszler. So I believe this is Shayna against Carmen Petrovic. So Shayna coming out. I wonder what Lola and Shayna talk about. Backstage. I'd imagine she probably tells her what it's like on the main roster, gives her advice on how to, you know, kind of progress with her career. But I wonder if they talk about fighting. I bet they do. I'd love to hear some of them conversations. Right. Let's change over the graphic on screen. We also need to end this poll. Vote away. Vote, vote, vote. If you haven't voted already, it'd be good to hit the big triple digits. The triple dig. Let's get to triple dig. William said Psycho Sid was okay. He worked his butt off for us fans. He would not have lasted as a face, though, taking over Hogan's niche. Wes is working to work out the rust. He was contemplating retirement, said wrestling is art. Stephanie said, what is happening right now? An advert. So it's an advert. We've had one match so far. That one match was Wes versus Josh. Wes picked up the victory. And afterwards, there was a brawl with Wes and Ivar and Josh. Obafemi watched on. And now Shayna Baszler has made her way down, and we'll be going to our next match after the break. Dro said Dijak needs a tag team partner on Raw. I will offer my services. Yeah. He's not allowed to tag me in, though. That's the only catch. I Am Your Father said they still didn't confirm the Queen of the Ring qualifies for SmackDown. That's true. Wicked Dust said, why does Lola Vice shake her ass like she's working at a strip joint? Because it brings views. Johnny says, I like James. He's all right. I just wish he would let me be friends with him. Well, add James. I don't like add James. Add James. Hey, congratulations to William. I don't know if you've seen, but he has been added. Hey, he has been added. I'm a busy boy, man. I do stuff. I do things. So the review that went up in the early hours of the morning. So the review of Raw went up. That's on the second channel. The opinions video went up on the second channel today as well. And we've added, I'll tell you, I might have gone to the pub to have had a beef and Guinness pie. Do you want to see a picture of it? It was lovely, by the way. I did show a picture over on, I did show a picture of what I had to eat today on the Wrestling Escape Pod, but I appreciate you lot might have missed out. Look at this. Can I just say, what a camera as well. This is the Pixel 8 Pro. What a camera. Look at this. Jesus. It's like professionally taken. It's just on my phone. That is a sick camera, man. I feel like I can see every single strand of beef. I can see every little bead of sweat on the chips. That's what I enjoyed tonight. Look at that. Peas. These are chips. I'm guessing you do have them in America, but you love your... Oh, we love our French fries. Oh, we love French fries. Would you like some French fries? No. French. Proper chips, mate. Proper chips. And then a Guinness. Guinness and beef pie. It's the food of champions. Oh, here's the No Quarter Catch crew. What did you lot have to eat? Is this 8K? So, I don't know, man. It's a mental picture, isn't it? It's like the greatest picture I've ever taken, and I did none of the work. It's only a Google Pixel. I mean, it's a great phone, but oh, God, what a camera! We can take it. We ain't afraid of pain. There's Hank, there's Tank, there's Nathan, there's Axiom. Here's the Good Brothers. That's quite a jacket, isn't it? That's quite a jacket that's Carl Anderson's sporting. That's not too sweet. Throw it up. Throw it up. No, no too sweets. We're good. Ooh. That right there. That right there is why those two brothers are going to lose those tag team titles. Here's Carmen Petrovic. And here's Natalia. Has she always come out with like that bit of like a cartoony animated intro? That was pretty cool. I'm never sure about people that come out with weapons and do like a demonstration in the entranceway. I mean, I sort of look at it and think, what's that got to do with wrestling? Waving a nunchuck around or waving a sword around, you know. Didn't get Xia Li very far, did it? Put the sword down. This isn't the 1200s, right? That ain't going to help you against Shayna Baszler. Right, Shayna Baszler against Carmen Petrovic. Let's end the poll so that we don't cause confusion. Battle Against Misinformation said, Daze, I need to introduce you to biscuits and gravy, I think that is. Maybe you do, yeah. I didn't have any biscuits when I was over in America, to be honest. But you cannot tell me that it's going to look better than that. That is, do you know what I mean? They say that English food is atrocious and all that. I got this from the local pub down the road. That is a beef and Guinness pie, homemade, hand-cut chips with, you know, peas. I mean, it's easy to do peas, but... Listen, I'm not going to sit here and say that the UK deserves to be seen as like some amazing place for food. I'm not going to make that argument. But I'm saying that things are not as bad over here as I think some of you think they are. Oh, Shayna Baszler driving a knee into the arm of Carmen Pet. Yeah, mess her up, Baszler. Mess her up. Come on, Shayna. Let's pretend this is GC Dub. Let's pretend this is Bloodsport. Mess her up. End her career. End her career. Come on, Shayna. Working on the arm of Carmen. I am what's known in the industry as joking. Kicks coming in as Carmen goes down. Daze tried a burger. I did try a burger. I tried the Baconator because I keep hearing about it. So I had it and it was lovely. I enjoyed it. It reminded me a bit of like Burger King. A bit like, I mean, it was clearly not like a McDonald's burger. It had like tomato on and whatever, and it reminded me a little bit of a Whopper. I was getting sort of Whoppery vibes, but with bacon. It was good. I enjoyed it. But equally, I felt like, oh, okay, I've had one of them now. Do you know what I mean? I didn't have it and go, oh my God, I need to move to America to have this on a regular basis. I didn't feel that way. I just felt like, yes, that lived up to what I was hoping it was going to be. Lovely. Thank you. And then I moved on. Over in the corner goes Carmen, but she reverses. It's actually Shayna that goes shoulder first. David said, that looked good, and I'm hungry now. I'm going to pull a Sheamus and eat a burger after burger after burger. Do you know, I took a picture of it because, I mean, we don't ever show what we're eating, but I think that was so different to what I was seeing in Florida, what I had today. I'm sure that you could find somewhere that would serve you that, but I mean, it's a lot of burger places, a lot of hot dogs, a lot of steaks, so many steaks. There's like Japanese, there's Indian. I mean, you can get pretty much everything, but as I said, English cuisine is not something the world cares about, and I can understand that. It's English cuisine is very hearty. It's, you know, pies, and it is like bangers and mash. It's toad in the hole. Do you know what I mean? It's spotted dick. Yeah, it's all that kind of stuff. It's all hearty. It's all recipes from about 300 years ago. But honestly, some of it is good, man. Some of it has stood the test of time for a reason, so... Carmen is perched. Oh, shot to the midsection. Kirifuda clutch is in. Oh, she's in trouble, and she's tapping. It's a win. It's a win for Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler picks up the victory. She does release the hold. I thought she might not. Shayna Baszler, do the dance. Do the dance. Yeah, look, Lola's like, do it. Come on. Do it. Do it. No, she won't do it. Oh, come on, Shayna. Have some fun in your life, love. Live a little. Yeah, it's Tuesday. So, Thea picking up the victory. Oh, and Fallon got knocked, did she? And then Fallon turns on Thea. What? Because she got knocked? Is that why? Why, Fallon? Why? Kalani says, I still can't see why she did that. It took everything in me to not smack her in that combine yesterday, says Kalani. Here's Fallon. Here she is. Who do you think you are? For here and out. Fallon comes first. What happened to you? What happened to you, girl? Okay, so we're seeing the women's combine. That's next. How are they going to present this? I still don't know what it is. Well, I know what it is, but I don't know how they're going to present it. Well, we'll find out. Bad news, Brown with black Air Force Ones. Just because Andre Chase knocked into her. Yeah, it doesn't... I don't know. Apparently now, Fallon comes first. Defcon Prime said, I still want the women's locker room camera job. We all do. There's a queue, mate. Get me to the back of the queue. I don't know where I am in the queue, but I'm waiting patiently. Big Time said, do you remember the 24/7 title the first few months? You had R-Truth and Jinder battling on a plane and a golf course. Drake Maverick's wedding, him at the hotel, R-Truth dressed up as Santa, Carmella fun stuff. Yeah, it was good. It just ran out of steam, didn't it? It was just really hard to kind of keep that going. Yeah. Difficult one, that. I mean, you can see why you would want to do it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I wonder if there's like... I'm thinking, is there a way that if you're champion, you could have a belt, but every month you have to allow like a 24/7 period for like I don't know, a few days, a month, or something like this. I just think that it was impossible to do 24/7 all of the time, because we were seeing title changes all the time and it just lost its thing. But if you kind of could find a way of bringing a rule in where it was more controlled and it was more limited, that would be really interesting. Perhaps it would be something like, you know, the 24/7 rule is only active in the second week of the month or something, you know. Between the 7th and the 14th of every month it becomes active. That's it. I don't know. It's a hard thing to figure out how you would structure it, you know. But I just sort of feel like I love the idea that when that window closes, the champ, whoever the champ is, like, I've got the belt, man. I've still got it, you know, and they're safe for a little bit. But when that window's open, we're all just like, what's going on? Did anything happen today with the 20? I think it needed to be more limited. It needed to be more controlled rather than it just being 24/7 all the time. I think it definitely needed to be more controlled. But yeah, there was some stuff in there that definitely showed it had value. There was definitely a reason to do it. I think a lot of people look back with fondness for the hardcore title. I think there's some fondness for that. And as you said, the first stage of the 24/7 was quite good in places. Just couldn't sustain it being all 24/7 all the time. Kalani needs to get pushed as a top women's babyface, said Vince. Oh, she will, buds. She will. She's killing it. What restaurants would you suggest for a fellow Englishman to get the best out of their experience? In America? In Florida? Well, there's a restaurant do you know, I'm not just saying this and people are going to think I'm flipping mental, right? But I promise you I've been to America a lot of times. I've had a lot of steaks. I really rate Outback Steakhouse. I really rate them. I've been to them about 3 or 4 times. I only tend to go once a trip. And maybe I'm just really fortunate in that every time I've gone, it's been perfect. It's been amazing. But I genuinely would put their steaks up against anything I've had from any other steak place I've been to. I've had so many steaks. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying it's you know, one of the big things you have in Florida. Loads of steakhouses. There's loads of... I'm sure there's better. I'm sure people are like, oh, if you like Outback, you should have tried blah, blah, blah. I'm sure that's a thing that people are going to say. But all I can tell you is that if you go to places, steak is normally on the menu. But consistently, the steak that impresses me the most, the one that is just so juicy and is just so full of flavor, is Outback Steakhouse. I really rate it. I think it's brilliant. So I'd say give that a go. But it really depends what you're looking for. I think I think Denny's is worth a visit for that kind of American vibe. You know, it's like a diner. How you doing, sweetheart? You know, she comes, do you want some fresh coffee? And she comes over, whatever. Like, it's got that sort of vibe to it. So I feel like if you're an English person, going to a Denny's is probably worth a shout. There's a few. And there's a few. If you've been to Florida or you live in Florida, what would you recommend? We're seeing this push. There's Thea Hale. 10-yard sprint. So we've got this combine. So we're seeing how quick they can do the 10 yards sprint. In ring shuttle drill. Thea Hale and Kalani Jordan broke out as leaders in this combine. Is that it? It's just a little video package, to be honest. Okay. So we've got no quarter catch crew. No quarter catch crew. taking on these two, who, honestly, these were in the first match that I saw at that house show. Tyson and Tyreek. They were good. They were good. Oh, yeah. What's happening? Referee is unavailable. Oh, there's friend of the channel, Luca Crucifino. Hope you're well, mate. Stacks is going to be the ref for this. So here's the family. There's the Riz. Yeah, Riz. Stacks has got the shirt on. So there we go. Stacks is going to be the ref for this one. Tony and Riz come down. Luca was already at ringside. We are underway with match number 3. And amazingly, we're already 40 minutes into this show. That's pretty mental. Pretty mental. Stacks has received his officiating license. Probably not legally, though. It's who you know, innit? It's not what you know, it's who you know. Tony knows a lot of people. Don't ask questions. Right, we are underway. It is Miles Bourne and Charlie Dempsey taking on Tyrese and Tyreek. I like that these two are good. They work really well together, these two. Do you know what I really liked about them is they, and I'm seeing it now, they bring a real energy. You know, that there's no sign of nervousness of them not being on TV too much. Like, they must have been cooking away in the background, you know, at the performance center. And they've looked at them and gone, yeah, these are ready. Because they really just bring that, let's go, kind of attitude. And they can do some stuff in there. They certainly don't get lost or anything. They've got some good ability as well. So I kind of really like these two. The size of that. Is his name Tyreek? The size of that guy, man. The one that's in the ring now is... That's a big boy. That is a big boy. Goes for a big splash. Miles moves out the way. It's a nice drop kick that by Miles. Kick coming in by Miles. Or he'll threaten to put you in a concrete coffin. Concrete coffin. Isn't it awful to think that there are people that have had their feet put in concrete and then thrown in the river? It's bad, isn't it? I mean, I'm sure they were bad people, and they probably deserved it. But that has happened to someone. Someone has slept with the fishes. It's not what you want to think about on a Tuesday night, is it really? Change the name of the match, said Stephanie. Stephanie, I will. It's a good shout. It's a good shout. No quarter catch crew versus... I don't really know how you spell Tyreek. Tyreek. It's that now. Even if it isn't, that is now how you correctly spell it. He'll have to change his name. I've met Stacks at WWE World. He said I looked spiffy. Did he? Did he say you look spiffy? Oh, God. I bet you did as well. Are you going to Clash at the Castle? Are you going? Please respond. In the ring comes, I think that's Tyreek, smashing Miles Bourne, chucking him to the outsides. Down goes Tyreek, gets dragged out the ring. Where did that come from? So I don't know, actually. I don't know. Referee, I was going to say his shoulders are down, ref. Come on. He really didn't want to count that 3. 1. He went all Aubrey Edwards in that Jade Cargill match. 1, 2... 1, 2, 3. It's a win for Tyson and Tyreek. That's legit. That is legit. That is legit. That's a big win, that is, for Tyrese and Tyreek. Oh, look at Charlie Dempsey, man. He's kicking the... he's gutted. He's so angry. Right. Oh, here's Ariana. Here's Gigi. Here's Chelsea. Chelsea Green. Ariana Grace is so good. She is so good. Her facial expressions, her reactions. I'm gonna love these two together, man. I think I found my new favorite team. If Chelsea and Ariana Grace are gonna get together, then oh man, wrestling just reached a whole new level. For Georgina, for the locker room. Oh my god. Gigi can't deal with it. I'd love it. I'd love to be in there. I'd be like, ooh, ooh, oh, I'd be joining in. Gigi's just sat in there all glum. Meechin, she's got good music, man. Taking on Ariana Grace. Meechin versus Ariana Grande. Boom. I hope they do more with Meechin. I'm a big fan of her, said for Beach Kevin. That is an amazing pair, said Miss. Oh my god, I know. It's amazing. The Bloomin' Onion Outpack is great, said A-Jobs. I don't know what that is. I can't remember what steak I have when I go, to be honest. I don't think it's nothing fancy. It's one of them. I completely understand. There'll be people going, what are you on about? You're an idiot. Outback Steakhouse is rubbish, right? But I can only go by my experiences. And every time I've gone... The first time I ever went was because I was hungry. I didn't know where to go. And there was one there. And I was like, fine. You know, sometimes you do just like, you've been out all day. And it's just like, I can't be bothered. Let's just go here. I remember going and it was just amazing. It was just amazing. It was just like, I was eating it. I was like, I don't know if I've had a steak better than this. It was so big and juicy. And I was just like, sometimes it tastes better when you're tired and you've been out all day and you're really hungry. You know, if you're really hungry, just any food tastes better. So I put it down to that. I kind of put it down to that. But then I went again because I was like, I'd had such good experience. And it was just as good. It was just as good. And I was like, oh, I can't get my head around this. How are people not talking about this place more? I don't understand. Is it just me? Am I just getting all the best steaks? Are they saving them for me when I walk in the door? I saw a picture of like Grayson Waller looking really glum and upset outside an Outback Steakhouse because I think it's like Australian themed, if you will, but not really. And so he went, and I think he was kind of like, "Oh, what's this?" I was looking at it going, "Dude, you've got no idea. That's one of the best restaurants I've ever been." I think it's great. So I would definitely recommend giving them a go. But who knows? Perhaps I've just been getting all the perhaps I walk in and they're like, "Oh my god, Wrestling Daze is here. Get the finest cuts." I don't know. I'm gonna take another Daze head. Oh, you are going, are you? Don't take another. You'll only lose it. You've already lost one of my heads. That's floating around Philadelphia somewhere. Daze is describing how I also like my meat, says Missy. I think we all like our meat that way. JPville said Outback Steakhouse is definitely a steakhouse in America. That's the best we can say about it. I can agree, it is a place that sells steak. I will go that far and no further. Yeah, no, I really rate them. I like them. There's a good place in Florida called Manny's that are really good as well. They had a few restaurants, but it's Haynes City is the one that we went to. Those are great. I love those guys. And I don't know what else. Denny's is worth a try. You know what you're going to get in Denny's, but it's just honest food, man. It's just honest. And, you know, it's very American. It's very American. It's all that kind of diner kind of stuff, you know. I went to Golden Corral. That was all right. Cheap and cheerful. I had a Bruno Sammartino shirt on, and I sat down with like the food because it's a buffet. Sat down, and this guy went, "I didn't realize he'd been champion that long." Like this, I was like, I looked over. There's some guy who was looking at me, and I looked at him, and I was like, and he just pointed because I didn't even know what I was wearing. And it must be that it's got like all the information. He must have read all about Bruno as I was walking around. So as I'm getting food, is there reading and like catching up all on Bruno Sammartino? Because it was all on the back of my shirt. I didn't realise he'd been champion that long. Oh, well, there you go. Got a free education, didn't you? I'm spreading the word of wrestling wherever I go. Do you know what I mean? I'm dishing out all this information. I don't even know I'm doing it. Mr. Quake said Golden Corral is goated. You survived, said Anna. I survived. Do you know what? Right. I went to Golden Corral. I can't remember how much it was. It was like, I don't know, $15 or something. Right? That's about £12. And it's all you can eat. And they've got all these like pastas and all this kind of stuff, right? And this guy just started cooking these massive steaks. And he went, yeah, come back in 15 minutes, they'll be done. It's like, they're not doing steak. And there was cooking steak. You could go and get, like, all these different, like, meats and pastas, and there was soups, and there was salads, and all this kind of stuff. And the chef started doing steak. It's like £12 all you can eat. Oh, I can't, my brain can't fathom that kind of value. I can't get my head around that kind of value. So I would go back to Golden Corral, definitely. Drop kick there by Meachim. But, you know, you're not getting fine dining. Let's put it that way. But do you go to Florida for fine dining? Does anyone go to Florida for fine dining? I don't think it's that kind of holiday, you know? And I ain't that kind of boy. Right, we are underway with Meechin and Ariana Grace. So Meechin back in the corner as Ariana Grace goes charging over. Any food that I don't have to cook is good. Yeah. I love putting ketchup on my steak. What do I put on mine? I don't really... I might put a little bit of, like, steak sauce or something, you know, a bit of A1 sauce if I'm in America. Other than that, you know, that's it, man. I just leave it as it is. Let the natural juices of the steak and the flavour of the steak. How'd you have your steak? That's the big question, eh? How'd you have your steak? If you go to a proper steakhouse, they plead with you to not have it well done. Please don't have it well. We don't want to do it. If you say can have it well done, they all start crying. I think I'll have it well done. No, you can't. The chef would rather burn this restaurant down than do that. Oh, down goes Ariana Grace. She gets planted by Meechin. A1 sauce said to heal, yes. Heinz 57. Kick coming in there by Meechin. Kader said well done. Oh, Kader. They would politely ask you to leave. Big Boots. My brother, it hates, can't cope with bloods. in his foods, right? Which, when you think about it, is probably acceptable. But any kind of juices that come out of red, that he's like, nah, I ain't having that. So for him, he always has it well done. Oh, Ariana Grace tries to use the ropes and Michin with the pin. Kick out there by Ariana Grace. She's having a go at the referee. Michin round the back of Ariana Grace into German suplex. German suplex, working on the arm. Boom. Ariana Grace goes down. That's going to put her away. Michin with the win. Yeah. Posing at the camera. As she picks up the victory. Battle Against Misinformation says, I've got to take you to a soul food joint in the hoods. I think we all know that I would do very well in the hood. Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. Right, here's Trick Williams. Right, 66, 14, 8. Oh, there's that envelope. I bet it's nudes. Whenever I see a envelope and a woman, she's probably got nudes of the man. It's probably nudes of Trick Williams. I don't even know what's going on, but that's my guess. Right, PJ said, Daze, any QR codes tonight? Enjoying the stream. PJ, shout out to you. If you're enjoying the stream, then you would know that there's been no QR codes. So that message contradicts itself. How are you enjoying the stream, but yet you don't know if there's been a QR code or not? I probably shouldn't have pointed that out and just took the compliment. There's not many people out there that would call people out for saying nice things. Oh, you want to say some nice things, do you? Oh, okay. You want to come round here saying nice things? I don't think so. Yeah, it's no is the answer. There's been no QR codes. Daze, medium rare is the only way to have steak. Any other way is sacrilege. That's correct. James is actually correct. Medium rare is the only correct answer. I have dabbled with medium. I'm going to hold my hands up. Not the TV show. And I have also dabbled with rare. Didn't mind it, but it was not an easy cut. You know, you're kind of like, as you're trying to cut through it, the steak's sort of like doing that. Because it's not been cooked long enough so that you can get purchase. Do you know what I mean? As you're cutting into it, the steak's kind of like wobbling around with you. That's me and my impression of a rare steak, right? I may never do that again. But I would say that it just needs that little bit longer so you can get good purchase. Or maybe I just needed a better knife, you know? Maybe I just needed a better knife. I wouldn't go blue. I wouldn't go blue. Yeah? I only do that for my movies, not for my steaks. That's my motto. I will admit it was cool to see Black and Gold, OG, Shayna, and Mia return with matches on the same show tonight, says A. Jobson. Much love. Much love to the OGs. It's true, innit? Pretty much everyone on that main roster came through NXT now. Trick should have been at Backlash just to hear that French. Oh my God, you're right, Vince. Imagine that. Yeah, look, even Wicked does is like, oh my God, Vince, could you imagine? I think we're all like, oh my God, could you imagine that French crowd? That building, man, it would bounce. It would actually bounce. Oh my God, we should have done it. You're right. We've got to do it. Do they all know him yet? Perhaps yeah, they were so into it. I think they all would know Trick Williams. Oh my God. Carl and Dawn said, who do you think the Dub 6 go after? The Dub 6. Dub 6. Well, I think, look, there's two ways they can go in there. They can all go off on their individual paths and pick their own targets. You know, Nikki could go after, say, Alexa. Dexter could go after, you know, someone else. You could have Eric Rowan and Joe Gacy be a tag team. You could have Uncle Howdy targeting the big targets. So they could all go their own individual ways. Or you go after like a Judgment Day or a Legado, or you go after some big faction. I can't say, it doesn't feel like anyone's really presenting themselves at the moment. At this point, we're just establishing the group, really. Bray came back and didn't go after anyone until LA Knight interrupted him. A good distance into after he'd come back. It was a good couple of weeks. Right. Hello, Thea. Thea, celebrate him. He's so easy to talk to. Here's Lexis. We're backstage with Ridge and Lexis. If you're trying to scrape together some wins, why are you talking to this loser? Listen, Lexis. How are we feeling about Lexis? What's the opinion on Lexis now? He's been in for a little while, isn't he? You just peed off the king. In Chase U, we've always got each other's backs. Lexis is like Jericho 3.0. Lexis is okay. He just needs that big push, said Tom. I like Lexis, said the Beach Kevin. He needs a bit more work, said Joe. Chuck Nasty Sports said he's a bum. Right, Supernova Sessions. Supernova Sessions with Trick Williams. So this is the start of the second hour. Wow, where's that first hour gone? Where did that go? Skirt, skirt. Special guests. It's a very special guests. Very special guest. Is the champ. Lash is like, is the champ? Is the champ? This music, man. This music. I've said before, if this is Def Rebel, I'll have no disrespect for Def Rebel just for this one theme alone. This theme is one of the best themes I've ever heard. Bad chick. Oh, that chick. And Booker T has to always be a part of the entrance as well. That chick. I like it. Oh, yeah. That chick. Oh, that chick. Oh, that chick. Right, Trick Williams, the NXT champion, is in the ring, is in the house. Whoop that trick. Oh, yeah, man. Right, here we go. Supernova Sessions then with Trick Williams. Things are going pretty wonderful for you. Talk your talk. Talk your talk. Things are going great for you. Talk your talk. Okay, we're going to have a look at a video package. These are the headquarters. There's Trick. He's got his NXT championship. Oh, there he is on the bump. Oh, this is good. I like this video package. I've got to put the brand on my back. He talks about how Shawn Michaels gave him the ball. Let's talk about it. We're literally on a talk show. Lash is like, why are you being so rude? She doesn't like the disrespect to Trick. I love that Oro Mensah has got, is that like a Croatian jumper that he's wearing? I decide when it happens. Trick's a lucky man for having whatever he got with Lash Legend, said Prince Moolah. Big Time said, if you remember, as soon as Lexis debuted on TV, he already got himself a gimmick, a character, mannerisms, rather than develop him. He had that really bad hiccup interrupting the Trick Mellow promo. That's true. Oh, hang on, we're going to reveal the truth. Snap out of it. Stand up. What's this? Okay, so in the envelope is a picture of Trick pinning Noam, and Noam's foot is under the rope. This victory. You still lost is the chant. Everything you have has been built on a lie. The victory you got on me, you didn't really win. They should strip him of the title. They should get that belt off this cheat right now. I am not watching the show anymore. Trick said, that's it. That's all you've got. You brought me out here for a picture in an envelope. Your title reign is fraudulent. Do I need to smack you back to the motherland? If you want a title match, all you had to do was ask. You've got jokes, but you're still not accepting the reality, says Noam. Trick Willie ain't the daddy, he says to the crowds. Trick and Lash, man, what a power couple. Huh? Do you want to tell them or do you want me to tell them? Do they not know that they're together? Do you want to tell them or do you want me to tell them? Babe! Babe! Trick! Oh, there's all panic in metaphor. Did they not know? We've got nothing to be scared about. Ah! You call me Trick Willy Wonka? What's going on? She wants that Trick Willy Wonka experience in Glasgow. Oh, Noam nails. Oh, man, this was cooking. We were cooking. It's all getting a bit sexy, weren't it, eh? Oh, what a heel. He's just ruined this for us, Noam Dar. He grabs that championship. He looks over at Lash. Noam Dar holds up that NXT championship. Lash does not look happy. What was that? Yeah, he just knocked your man out. That's what happens. That was fun, man, weren't it? That was fun. Trick Willy Wonka. What was that about? What was that about? Electric Cook said, Mr. Quake. NXT is wild, said Qatar. Vertical jump was very good there by Lash. Women reaching as high as they could. So we're just seeing another one of these combine video packages. The broad jump. Solruka did. Whoa! That was good. The rotational punch. Oh, Ivy Nile was there? Oh, that looks fun. I want to have a go on that. I want to see if I can record the lowest ever number. Jada Parker. Okay, so who wins? Ah, to be continued. I feel like there is something to that. I want to know the results, but I want the real results. I don't want the make-believe results. Here's Kalani. Is Trick dating Lash in real life? Lash in real life? Yes. Here's Kalani. Taking on Fallon Henley next. Trick and Lash has been whooping that Trick, said Aries. William said, have you been outside at all, says William. Who are you asking, William? I've seen William's guns in the picture. Eh? I have added it, so it should be showing. But, guys, I think we all need to be a bit more respectful towards William Hansey. He might win our combine if we was to do a community combine. Very good. Now that we know about the steak, how do you like pizza? Cooked. Definitely cooked. Do you know, we went to Pizza Hut and said, like, can get a large. Starving. Hadn't had anything to eat all day. I sat down and he was like, what can I get for you? He was like, just get, I think it's just the meat feast or whatever it was. Stuffed crust, large. Let's just go for it. You know, I'm hungry. And honestly, he went, are you sure? Like that. He actually said, are you sure? And I was like, yeah. I didn't bother looking, to be honest, as to what a large was. I didn't go extra large. I wasn't crazy. I didn't go family size. But he was like, okay. Jotted it down. When he came back, this thing was like this. This thing, honestly, it took me 2 days. I had half of it in the restaurant. We took the rest of it home. Next day, I ended up having the other half, for my dinner the next day. The thing is, as well, stuffed crusts, they fill you, man. Stuffed crust, you don't realise how much a stuffed crust is going to contribute towards filling you. I don't have the biggest appetite. I would never claim to have the biggest appetite. So I was just hungry, and I am always guilty when I'm hungry of over-ordering, right? I don't leave food. I'll take it with me or whatever, but I always, if I'm hungry, for some reason, I feel like I need all the food. I need it all. If I was to go around the supermarket when I'm hungry, that would be a disaster for me. That would be a disaster, because I'd have a trolley full of just rubbish because I'm hungry. And I'd end up spending a load of money that I didn't need to spend. They say that, actually, if you want to make sure you're not overspending, don't go to the supermarket or the grocery store when you're hungry. Also go with a list and don't deviate from that list. I'm terrible at that. I tend to go in hungry and not knowing what I want, and then I come out with just a trolley full of stuff I don't need. But yeah, I would go, you know, a stuffed crust. I would go chicken and sweet corn. I would go meat feasts. I would go... I don't mind a pepperoni, but it's not my go-to. I wouldn't choose Hawaiian. If someone ordered Hawaiian for me, I'd be a bit disappointed, to be honest. If someone went, oh, what pizza do you want? And I was like, oh, just anything, or whatever. And then I went upstairs and the food had arrived and they'd got me her Hawaiian. I'd be like, what? Could have got me like pepperoni, or you could have got me like meat feast or chicken, or you went Hawaiian. I mean, it wouldn't be a problem. I'd probably just take the pineapple off. I'm not really a pineapple on pizza person, but it wouldn't be... There are people out there that would see Hawaiian and go, I can't do it. And then just walk away. I can't do it. You know, if I end up having a bit of pineapple on a pizza, I can live. But it's not my go-to. It's not my go-to. Does pineapple belong on pizza? I say yes, because enough people seem to enjoy it. So there must be something to it, but it's not my go-to. But a nice tomato sauce. I have, do you know, I've learned a lesson. As you get older, you experiment with like putting barbecue sauce on instead of tomato sauce on pizzas. Don't do it. A lovely tomato sauce on a pizza, you can't beat. It can't be beat. What's happening? Is this Wendy Chu? She's a... What was that? We just had a black screen with snoring. I think that must have been Wendy Chu, mustn't it? That must have been Wendy. So yeah, what pizza do you lot like? A taco pizza. What the hell are that? What's a taco pizza? Who's that? Who's this? People like this guy. Who's this guy? I don't know this guy. Oh, he just got kicked in the head. Doesn't matter, he's dead now. There was cheers, man, when that guy appeared. Oh, well. Yeah, even the commentators are like, well, whoever that was. Why did people cheer when he arrived then if no one knows who he is? Here's Fallon Henley. Here's Fallon Healy. You want it? Fallon Healy. Because she's a heel. Fallon as a heel is making me sad, said Vince. James said, Daze, when I go to a shop for 4 or 5 things, I come out with about 5-6 bags. Yeah. I'm the same. Right. Kalani. Fallon was born to be a heel, said Dro. Brian said, what was the last QR codes? We've not had one tonight. I don't think we get one tonight, but I may live to regret that comment. I think we've not been getting them on NXT, and we got one last week, but that was because it was the go home towards Backlash. And I think like they really wanted to make sure people tuned into Backlash. Now, I don't know. I know we're building to King and Queen of the Ring, but are they really going to drop a QR codes on Raw, NXT, SmackDown every week? That's a lot of work. Maybe they are. Maybe they are, but that's a lot of work. That's a big ask. There's the QR codes in the corner. Look, it says, come into a city near you, SmackDown, Friday, Super Show. But underneath is a QR codes. What if they've hidden it in plain sight and everyone looks at that and goes, no, that's not the QR code I'm looking for. But it actually is. I'm gonna make sure. I'm gonna make sure. I've scanned it. And it takes me to an events page where I can buy tickets for the show. But maybe there's something in the source code. Fallon Henley gets arm dragged and drop kicked. QR codes! Finally, said Stephanie. Oh my god, QR code next to the ticket. I scanned it, guys, I scanned it. Get to the source code, get to the source code. It probably has got a message in there. Mary had a little lamb. Its name was Alexa. Oh my God. None of that is happening, by the way. Johnny said, Daze, I got a question for you. WrestleMania is coming to Las Vegas. That's true. And I don't have enough money for WrestleMania. So I'm going to go to WWE. Oh, you're going to WWE Worlds. Oh, well, I'm happy for you, but I'm disappointed for me. Because I want to go. That's, Johnny, I need you to know that's really rude. That's really rude, and it's really offensive that you have decided to go to the place that I really want to go to. Yeah, you need to start thinking about other people. But I'm very happy for you. I'm going to go to WWE World. Will they still let me into WWE without WrestleMania tickets? Yeah, it's a separate thing, yeah. Don't need WrestleMania tickets to get into WWE World. So, yes, you can get into there. I mean, obviously, keep an eye out because things may change, but to my knowledge, you don't need to have a ticket in order to get into WWE World. Well, at least I hope not, because I would like to go to WWE World one day, and I ain't going to WrestleMania because I'll be streaming it. Headlock, that was great. That was by Kalani. Kalani is in the middle of the ring, getting back up to her feet. Look at this, going round. Oh, my God. Kalani through the ropes as Fallon. Oh, love that by Fallon. She pulls Kalani. Kalani goes whoosh, smacking into that top rope. Fallon to the outside. Forearm strike. I told you, Fallon comes first. Fallon is in control then in this match. I told my bestie, Triple T, that your favourite female wrestler is NXT, is Kalani Jordan. The secret is out, says Al. I do really like Kalani Jordan, and I would say she is my favourite female wrestler in NXT. So it's true. It was a secret, and you've ruined it. Brony said, Daze, Chelsea Green and Ariana Grace as a team would be fun, but unfortunately I don't see it happening. Daze, you can tell NXT are in a rebuild mode with so many people called up. The men's title and the tag divisions need work, said A. Jobson. Yep. But you know what? I don't mind that work being done. I mean, I don't know about you, but there was a bit of a question mark, shall we say, as to why are you doing breakout tournaments at the start of the year, and why are we watching a load of people that we've not seen before as we're building to WrestleMania? Like, this didn't make sense to me. I didn't understand. Why am I sat here watching Trey Bearhill? You know, no offense to Trey Bearhill, who unfortunately is no longer with them, but why am I watching these people that I don't know who they are? You know, so I would move that to now. So now that we've got like all these vacancies, I would do a breakout tournament now and then run it now and see, like, you know, who shines, who comes through, you know, like Obafemi, for example. I think I would have delayed it to now, because now this is historically for me always been the rebuild period. This is where you shift the rosters around. This is where I've said before, if wrestling was to have like the end of a season, a season finale, that surely is WrestleMania. WrestleMania is the season finale, and then the season premiere is the night after WrestleMania, the Raw after WrestleMania. So for me, anything from that point is, let's go, rebuilds, you know, let's build. The journey, the road to WrestleMania has begun. The road to WrestleMania 41 for me has begun. It's just we've got to go through every other show first before we get there. That's how I've always viewed it. WrestleMania for me is the final destination, you know. And I think that shows, especially this year, with Cody finishing his story. You know, what a season finale with all these big names. And, you know, since then, we've not seen Roman. We did get Rock the next night on the Raw, but he only came out to say, goodbye, I'll see you later. So I kind of feel like this is the time for a rebuild. So I'm all right with a rebuild at this point. But we was questioning why we were doing the breakout tournament earlier in the year. But there must be some logic to it. There must be some logic. Perhaps the feeling is that they're thinking, why don't we try and introduce some people before WrestleMania so that when we do lose people, these names have kind of, you know, they're not brand new. They've got a little something about them. They're a bit further down the roads. You know, maybe that's the logic. Don't know. Fallon Henley, Kalani Jordan. We've got 36. Oh, man, they're showing a replay of Fallon yanking. That was brutal, man. That is brutal. I want to find that on... I want to find that. I want to find that, and I want to retweet it, and I'm going to say the words brutal. That's what I'm going to do. I've decided that I'm going to do that. It's just, can I find it? That's the question. So, Fallon working on Kalani at the moment. She's very much in control. She's getting back up to her feet. Oh, I don't think anyone's posted a little clip of it, unfortunately, so I can't do that. I'd motivated myself to do that, and I can't do that. She's over in the corner. Fallon collides in. She gets picked up. Fallon, she's on the shoulders of Kalani. Nope. Fallon comes down. Oh, lovely reversal. Is that a $1 million dream? It looks quite... Where's that arm going? It looked a little bit $1 million dreamy. She's trying to get over to the ropes here, Kalani. They're giving this match a little bit of time, aren't they? They're allowing them to do some cooking. There's a bit of cooking going on right now. Arm drag takeover. Nice by Fallon. Both women get back up to their feet round the back. Fallon's targeting a lot of sleeper holds and chokes, isn't she? I don't think she's always been doing that. Against the ropes goes Fallon, and Kalani knocks Fallon down, and again. Cartwheel. Oh, not quite sure what she went for there. It was sort of like a cartwheel into a bit of like a back elbow, maybe? Steps over. Oof. Kick. Roll through by Kalani. Kalani is really trying different offense and really trying different things. You can tell that she puts the work in to try and come up with new stuff. Maybe not all of it looks perfect, but you've got to... This is where you try this stuff, innit? This is where you try. She goes against the ropes. She gets kicked to the midsection by Fallon, and Fallon's certainly getting a workout here. Certainly getting a workout. Kalani's down in the middle of the ring. She's trying to get back up to her feet. Big boot coming in there by Fallon. Kalani goes down to her knees. Fallon going up to the middle rope, over in the corner. She's grabbing Kalani into a DDT suplex. Little bit sloppy. Little bit sloppy. Kick coming in there by Fallon. She's round the back. Yeah, you can't be down on them trying stuff in NXT, you know? Try it. Add it to your moveset. See what works. Refine it. Get it looking crisp. Fallon grabbed a hold of that top turnbuckle. Oh, kick to the midsection there by Kalani. Kalani with Fallon. Into the corner goes Fallon. She charges over. Just looking to flip her over, and she does. Fallon over the other side. On her feet as Kalani comes over. Gets picked up. She goes into that exposed turnbuckle. So Kalani goes into the exposed turnbuckle. That allows Fallon with a kick. That should put Kalani away. She had Fallon's backside in her face as she was being pinned as well. That's the ultimate disrespect. So it's a win for Fallon. Little bits off in places in that match, but no problems. And obviously that exposed turnbuckle playing a big part. Gotta love Kalani trying some new stuff though. Once it's all bedded in and she can just get what she needs, she's going to be cooking, man. And I wonder where this heel turn is going to take Fallon. Is this what's going to unlock the next level for her? Crowd booing Fallon. Wicked Dust said Jerry didn't have his contract renewed and has been released by WWE. Oh, hello. Here's No Quarter Catch Crew. Charlie Dempsey. You might be the Don of NXT. The power lies in the catch clause. You'll have to wait till next week, Tony, to find out which of us you're going to face. Okay. Right, here we go. The Combine again. Brian said, WWE does Cody Rock at SummerSlam. 3 crossroads. 12 Solo puts Rock's leg on the rope and the Rock bottom. 12 Cody tries to put his foot on and then Solo pushes his leg away. So this happens 1, 2, 3. One superstar dominated. Was it Lash? Lash Legends. Do you know, she's at the top of a lot of the leaderboard stuff. Ren Sinclair had a strong showing. The ISO mid thigh pull. What the hell is that? What the hell is an ISO mid thigh pull? How do they measure that? I don't know what they're measuring. So they had a bar and they pick it up and it goes against 2 metal. It's no weight on the bar. Goes against these 2 metal pins and they're like pulling it with all their might. Ah! What's getting measured? Ivy Nile. Look, she's not even really sweating after. She's putting in all this work, then she gets off and she's all really cool. Well, I mean, some of it's good. I don't mind these little video packages. I think I would just like a bit more data, a bit more information, you know. But what this is achieving is it makes me think whoever's going to emerge victorious here, like, they've really earned it, if you will. Like, they've really, you know, shone and managed to, you know, there's a lot of categories that they're being tested in, you know. I'm interested to find out who wins. I know that Lash Legend does really, really well at this stuff. Here's Duke Hudson and Lexis King. I don't... This isn't our main event, is it? We got Chelsea Green. But we do have Duke Hudson and Lexis King coming up. Right, we're into the final half an hour. Final half an hour. So, Fallon against Kalani. Get your scores in. Match had a fair bit of time. Let's end this poll. Boom. The Combine. What was that about the Combine? Just seems like stuff the PC talent do on a daily basis. I'd imagine they do that kind of work. I don't know if they do those big competitions, though. I don't know if they like get everyone in and do all these big kind of thing. They're probably working on a lot of in-ring and promos. But it's all right. It's all right. It's quite interesting. I just wish we were getting some real data back, you know. Right, Daze, everyone. I'm currently located in the South Lake Mall in Maryville, Indiana, said Carmen Live. What shop are you in, Carmen Live? What shop? Please respond. Made by Dawn said, there is another Tongan out there. There's also Lance Anawai and Zilla Fatu. Brony said, Daze, they have no idea what to do with Ridge. I swear he has turned heel, he has turned face like 4 times already. That's true. I do get that impression as well, actually. Kapolsky said, I haven't really watched NXT, so I didn't know who Joe Gacy is, but seeing his video on X, I guess that he is a perfect fit. Yes, I mean, I would say Joe Gacy is a perfect fit. He's always operated more in the shadows. I would say that he does feel to me a little bit like he has been directionless for quite a long time. I thought when we had Schism, it felt like Schism may have got somewhere. You know, he had Ava, that's The Rock's daughter. He had Grizzled Young Veterans, a very credible, very good tag team. I just thought that the way that group was booked was pretty poor, to be honest. They weren't really getting wins a lot. Like, they should have been very dominant. They should have been very credible. Do you remember when they had them dressed as, like, druids and it just all looked and felt very cheap? I just really was not a fan of what we were doing with that group, but that group definitely felt like it had potential. It was just the execution didn't feel quite right. And then we broke up Schism because, you know, lols. And he just doesn't know what to do. He's just cutting promos on roofs, he's underneath rings, he's hiding in changing rooms, but he's still someone that's very, you know, mysterious, and I think different is probably the word. So yeah, him being a part of this does make sense, and hopefully we'll give him some direction. And it could really unlock, like, I think what a lot of us have been hoping to see out of Gacy for a long time. But I'm interested to see how they're going to use him, to be honest. I'm interested to see how does he fit into this group. What are their personalities going to be, and how will they interact with each other? Like, you know, is he going to be in a tag team, for example? I mean, I'm sure 2 of them will go for tag titles at some point. That's what tends to happen with factions. Is Gacy one of them? Or will it be Eric Rowan and, say, Dexter Lumis? Or maybe it'll be Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy. That'll be, like, the tag team in the group. The dynamic of the group, once we actually see it, that'll be very interesting. Right, here's Ava, talking of Ava. We were sort of talking about Ava. All 20 women did amazing. Only 12 women can advance. Sol Ruka, Thea Hale, Jada Parker, Brindley Reese, Meechin, Fallon Henley, Lash Legends, Ivy Nile, Izzy Dame, Kalani Jordan, Tatum Paxley, and Ren Sinclair. So Thea Hale came second. Sexy Red said, I just watched on Super NES, said, Metaphor better watch their back because Trick Williams going to be on day ass now. Sexy Reds? What? She's a singer, isn't she, Sexy Reds? What's her song? Ski, is it? That's crazy, man. Planet of the Apes, that was everywhere. Sexy Reds, yeah. Sexy Red's going to be in Trick's Corner. What universe am I in? Said bro. I know, yeah. What? That's like finding out that Doja Cat cares about Chase U. You kind of go, huh? What? I don't understand. Right. Duke Hudson versus Lexis King. Man, if I'm Duke Hudson, I'm wondering what I need to do, man. Duke Hudson's been down in NXT for a long time. You know, Bron Breakker's been called up. Dijak's gone back up. Carmelo's gone up. Trick's champion. Duke Hudson, man. If I'm Duke Hudson, I'm thinking I need to go. Ski. Ski, yeah. Sexy Red sounds like a hooker name, says James. It's actually my hooker name. It's what I like to use. Thea Hale on the outside, shouting at Lexis King. Clothesline there by Duke Hudson. So I think Duke's headband popped off and Thea Hale pops it on. Nice. Side slam there. 1, 2. Shoulder up. Maybe Duke does not want to be called up, said May by Dawn. I honestly don't think he would have much say in that. I think the whole purpose in NXT is to get you ready for the main roster. I don't think they're really looking for people to just stay in NXT. Unless you can kind of find that balance where you are good enough to not be cut, but not quite good enough to go to the main roster. I love the idea that they ask him, though, hey, do you want to come to Raw? And he goes, no, thank you. Would you like to go to SmackDown? No, thank you. It's more money. No, I'm fine in Chase U, thanks. Suplex by Duke. The Beach Kevin said, I need to get WrestleMania 41 tickets so that I can party with Thea in Vegas when she turns 21. Oh, we're on to you. We're on to you. I don't know if there's any police officers in our community, but hey, the Beach Kevin, we know what's going on there. I want to party with Thea when she turns 21. I mean, technically that's legal. It's all absolutely fine. But you're thinking about it now, aren't you? Eh? That's the problem. You're planning it now. Who was that To Catch a Predator guy? What was his name? We need to call him. Big strike coming in. I picture a big red hair bearded guy with overalls on when I hear Sexy Red, says Missy. Really? We're very different, you and me. Brony said, Daze, same thing with Tony. Yes, that's true. He's been in NXT for a while and still no call-up or NXT champion run. Chris Hansen? Yes. I need to get him on the phone. That's right. Scott Hansen. Chris Hansen, Scott Hansen, the band Hansen that sang the song Umbop. We'll get them all on the phone. Yeah, Chris Hansen, Stan Hansen. Stan Hansen. He's going to dish out some lariats. Oh, down goes Duke. Lexis King is in control. Oh, hello. He jumps out the ring. Thea Hale's going off on Lexis King. Round comes Andre Chase. Is she crotch chopping? He kind of looked... Do you know, it was funny because Lexis King was looking up the entranceway. No one was coming out. And then out came Ridge with a chair. A chair gets introduced. Duke's distracted. Super kick by Lexis. Oh, lovely. Swinging net breaker. And he goes for the cover. 2, 3. Lexis King gets the victory. There was lots of moving parts in that one. But the end result is that Lexis King picks up the dub. And, you know, that might have been... I didn't mean to do it. I'm sorry, Thea. I didn't mean it. That might have been Ridge's fault. Ridge tried to help. He brought down a chair. And that led to a distraction. He hurts more than he helps, doesn't he, eh? He hurts more than he helps. I'm sorry, Chase U. Thea looking very dejected. Richard boring, said James. Yeah, where's Lash? Javon? The young OG? I love Javon, man. Natural aura about this guy. Javon. You're the shiny new toy, I get it. Look at me when I'm talking to you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Jakara. Here's Mr. Stone. Robert Stone. Here is Chelsea Green. There's Roxanne who we meant to root for. Who am I rooting for? Chelsea. Main event time. Roxanne. Chelsea. Javon reminds me of Kai Kennett. I guess it's a new generation guy, said Vince. I remember Robert was with Chelsea Green, said Johnny. Bishop said, I've got a question. What is Lexis King's gimmick? What's Trick's gimmick? I don't think there is much of a gimmick. I think that it's just maybe a bit of an exaggerated side of himself. He thinks a lot of himself. He's arrogant. He obviously kind of has his facial hair a certain way, which people think looks a bit ridiculous, but he's kind of so into himself, he feels that he's above all of that, you know? It's just that it's arrogance, and it's... I don't know. Arrogance, it's... I think that's it. I mean, like, he comes out on a throne, doesn't he? That's very arrogant. Doesn't care about what people think. He just heals it up. But to be honest, you know, as we said, what's Jakara Jackson's gimmick? What's Javon Evans' gimmick? Like, we don't really do that. You know, gone are the days where we have a dustbin man. Gone are the days where we have magicians and dentists. What's this? Beth Phoenix. Beth Phoenix documentary. William said, does anyone get excited when you guess right on the chat polls? It's a game, and I'm an 80% guesser, says William. Is that a game that you play? You like to try and guess? Doesn't it give you the results? I get the result. I can see what the number is right now. Cora Jade should be wrestling tonight. She's injured, but... James said Lexis needs to bring out the loose cannon. Is that your nickname for his penis? It is, isn't it, James? And we're all reading that now, thinking that exact thing. There he is! Look at the size of his arm! Oh, let's go! I'm a William Hensey stan. Johnny said, can we please have Mike Rome do the pay-per-views because Samantha is terrible. He is way more entertaining. Well, bad news because he's getting demoted. He's going down, isn't he, to NXT, and Alicia Taylor's coming up. So I'm afraid I've got some bad news. Nope. You're going to have even more Samantha Irvin. So if you don't like her, then learn to love her. I miss Cora Jade, says Joe. Serious Game said, what the hell did I just join into? I don't know. I don't want to say. Serious Gaming. Samantha is great, says James. William says, yes, Daze. After you vote, you get to see. Oh, what you don't see, I can see right now. Even, oh, after you, oh, I see what you're saying. So if you don't vote, you don't know. But once you vote, then you get to see. Oh, so are you a late voter? Is that what you're saying? You like to make a guess and then vote late in the Oh, that's dangerous, though, because you don't know when I'm going to end the poll. I bet you've missed out on some polls if you've done that then, haven't you? I thought Mike Rome was great at ring announcing. I wonder why they decided to put him back down. Because he's a man. Yeah, and men are disgusting. Yeah, men are a disgrace. We need to get them out of this company. That's 2 female ring announcers now. And a female referee that main evented the other day. Yeah. Michael Cole, he'll be gone soon. Yeah. It'll be Michelle Cole that takes over. And it'll be Cara Graves that... No, there's no room for men in wrestling anymore. Get out. You've had it too good for too long. Oh, here's Jasmine next. What's going on? What's this? Oh, she's good, by the way. Jasmine. Really good. Oh, did she? Thea Hale couldn't beat JC Jane. She had to break her nose. The entire WWE universe... She didn't deserve that. That's a disgrace. Yep. Step up, Jasmine. Step up. Here's Richard. Duke, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to cost you that match, Duke. Every time I see Thea, I can't help but see my little girl. If I'm Thea, I'm like, no, I'm a wrestler. I'm not your little girl. I'm a proper wrestler. Show me some respect. A leopard never changes his spots. Is that true? Might not be true, don't know. Are we going to have 2 English guys going at it? What's happening here? Down the pub, eh? The steak and Guinness pies are going to be flying everywhere. Shawn Michaels responding to the fact that Sweet Chin Music was included in Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar. He said, Kendrick Lamar, Drake are formally invited to NXT to settle this thing. I'm even offering my services to mediate. What happened to Becky? They made her 2-belt Becky, says Al. Well, she's 1-belt Becky right now. Sol Ruka against Izzy Dame. This is a NXT Women's North American Championship qualifying match. Ivy Nile. Ivy Nile is competing to try and win the NXT Women's Mid-Card belt. What the flip? What's that about? NXT Heritage Cup. Tony is going to take on 1 member of the No Quarter Catch Crew. Imagine Kendrick Drake on NXT. It'd be the best, wouldn't it? It'd be the best. Brony said, 1 second, Ridge announces he's retiring. Another second, he's attacking someone with a chair. Javon Evans takes on Noam Dar next week. Let's go. The young OG. Here's Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green. Right, Chelsea Green making her way. She's so watchable. Everything she does, the way that she has those mannerisms. Thank you, thank you. Let's go. So, Chelsea Green, Roxanne. Oh, we got no time. We've only got 7 minutes left and then a little bit of an overrun. The flip. Roxanne Perez. Roxanne. You don't have to put on a red light. Mitchell said, I'm gonna be honest. I think they have no idea what to do with Ridge. He does make good wallets. Here's Roxanne. Carmen says... Carmen, what shop are you in? You didn't tell me. You probably did, but I just didn't see it. Drag Queen of the Ring. Yes, no. Drag Queen of the Ring. Yes. That would be fabulous. Drag Queen. King of the Ring. Queen of the Ring. Drag Queen of the Ring. Oh, I didn't even know I needed that. And I need a Royal Rumble version of it as well. Let's go. You could have names like Kay, Fabe, and Toe Hold. One fall. Right, here we go. Look at her hair, man. I think she's done that before. She channels her in a Sideshow Bob. Alicia Taylor. Carmen said, what restaurants did you eat in the United States? Denny's, Manny's, Golden Corral, a seafood place that I can't remember what it was called, but it just all came out and you had to crack it open for, you know, crab and all that stuff. Try and get to the meat. It was very messy. Lovely, but very messy. So I went there. Outback Steakhouse. Logan's Roadhouse. I don't know if that's a chain. I'm guessing it is. Went to that. Went to a place called Sicky's as well. They do like beer and burgers. Nice. Good. Ponderosa. Don't mind a bit of Ponderosa. Perkins. Good old family food. Where else did I go? Pizza Hut. And I over-ordered, so that lasted me 2 days. So there was a few bits. Chelsea going over and pinning Roxanne. Oh, Roxanne shocked. She was shocked, Anne. As Chelsea almost managing to get the pin there. She gets backed into the corner. Nice reversal by Chelsea. She's got Roxanne in the corner. Roxanne getting up. It's a good way to deal with the size difference. Roxanne's in the corner, so she climbs up. She gets patted on the head there by Chelsea. Slap by Roxanne. Roxanne charges over at... Chelsea charges at Roxanne. Roxanne jumps over. She rolls through, goes against the ropes. Oh, big slap by Chelsea. That was great. She loved it as well. Look at the smile on her face. That was a loud slap, man. Roxanne against Chelsea for the Women's Championship. It's very predictable. Gunther is going to win, said Dro. The Beach Kevin said, what did you have when you went to Hooters? Oh, mate. I have been to Hooters. I didn't go this time. But I have been. And I'll tell you what, I had a flipping great time. That's what I had. No, I had... What did I have? I think I just had a beer and some wings. I mean, I think they do food, but it's more of a place that you just pop in and have a drink to. Or at least I thought so. Couple of snacks, few beers, and then that's it. Gone, you know. But no, I've not been for, oh God, 15 years, probably longer. Yeah, probably longer. Hooters makes lemon wings, says Mr. Quake. Daze, can I tell you something? I've never been to Hooters, says Johnny. Well, that's all right, Johnny. It's a place for perverts. A lot of us in this community have been as a result. But I don't think you're a pervert, Johnny. I think you're one of the good stand-up guys. I think, Johnny, you're one of those nice guys that if a young lady brought you back, their parents would be very pleased. If a young lady brought me back, her parents would be absolutely horrified. So, yeah, for the perverts amongst us, you know, Hooters still a place to go and have a good old drink. Who doesn't love Hooters, says I am your father. Mr. Quakes, well, apparently a lot of people, because they've closed a lot down, haven't they? Doesn't seem to be as wide, but is that the change in times, you know? Is it a case that in this modern world you can't get away with that kind of thing anymore? Honestly, sometimes I just think this isn't the world for me. There must be another world out there. Made by Dawn said, I have never been to a Hooters. I thought they closed down a long time ago. I think a lot of them have, to be honest. I think a lot of them have. They're never that. Do you know what I mean? I know they wear, like, tight shorts and tight tops, but they ain't walking around in, like, you know, bikinis or anything. I think, I don't know, they don't seem to... They don't seem to be as widespread as they once were. We used to have a fair few. Chelsea Green used to work at Who's. Did she? Liv Morgan did. I know Liv did. I didn't know that Chelsea used to. My God, could you imagine if you walked in and like Liv and Chelsea and alone? I bet there's some other wrestlers that used to work at Hooters as well. Looking for a Russian leg sweep. JP Ville said boobs, wings, beer. It's the holy trinity of Americana. It's my holy trinity as well, to be honest. I'm not a wings person, though. In that trinity, I would sacrifice wings. I don't know what I'd replace them with. You can't go wrong with a wing, but you don't always get loads of meat on a wing, do you? I think I'd have breasts, and beer. Lady breasts, chicken breasts, and beer. That's the real holy trinity. Breasts, more breasts, and beer. But two different kinds of breasts. Clothesline. And again, yeah, you get more meat on a breast. I mean, to eat. You get more meat on a breast than on a wing. Or a leg. Take a leg. Hip toss against the ropes goes Chelsea. We're thinking Roxanne, aren't we? I think we're thinking Roxanne. I bet Dom loved Hooters, said Mr. Craig. Oh, I saw a picture, actually. You've reminded me. I saw a picture only yesterday of Randy Orton back in the day in a Hooters, and he had all the Hooters girls standing behind him. That was doing the rounds yesterday on social media. Roxanne working on the arm of Chelsea. We're into the overrun. Johnny said, was there a QR code? I didn't see one, buds. I didn't see one. Chelsea on the edge of the ring. Roxanne grabbing the hair. Perhaps it'll pop up right at the end, but... Oof. Kick to the back. Are you a leg or a breast man? Dan, I'm a whatever I can get, man, mate. Whatever I can get. Are we talking about chicken, yeah? Oh, over lovely. Going for the cover there by Roxanne too, and kick out. Chelsea giving a good showing here, you know. She's giving a good showing of herself. Obviously, Roxanne, I mean, she's always been great in the ring. But Chelsea, just a little reminder that she can go in the ring. Her selling's great. Love her facial expressions, her selling. She just gets collided into there. Her eyes like roll back in her head. Roxanne charging over. She goes face first into that middle turnbuckle. Ooh, not a brilliant German there. It wasn't really a German. That was a weird... Hello. 1, 2, Chelsea. Oh, reversed by Roxanne. 1, 2. Kick out by Chelsea, who grabs Roxanne. That was good. 2.9. I'll tell you what, we're cooking at the end of this match. Against the ropes, up, over. Oh, plants Chelsea. Roxanne, 2. And she gets her. Roxanne gets her. They muted Daze. Yeah, they will do that. They will do that because we are speaking the truth. We are saying things that people don't want to be said. I don't know what, but we said them. But they'll never silence us. I think it was when we were saying that Chelsea's putting on a good show in here. Chelsea is reminding people how good she is. We got pulled. So it was like Pop Rocks, but as Vic said, it wasn't perfect, but it did the job. And there's Roxanne holding up that NXT Women's Championship. And Chelsea says that was my time. It's okay. Roxanne says it's okay. What's happening? Oh, is this the family? What's happening? Shots being thrown in. Damon... You think you're in control? Damon and Miles are being attacked. Oh dear. Oh dear. Are they going to go the same place as Pretty Deadly ended up? There's Charlie. You think you're in control, Charlie? Charlie comes out, is looking around. Charlie, you're on your own. The ace of NXT, doesn't know what's happened to Miles Bourne or to Damon Kemp. Give me a shout, Charlie. I'm here, Charlie. Me and this community, we have got your back. I can take the Riz down. I ain't messing with Tony or Luke or anyone. Forget that. We've got William. That's William can deal with Tony. It's fine. James, you get stacks. Missy said they're the next ones to be posting. Where am I? Yes. They're sleeping with the fishes. Oh my God. That's the end of the show. It is the end of the show. James said, now you know how I feel. I keep getting silenced for speaking the truth. Well, you can see I did not tolerate that injustice, and I was back. I was back, baby. Right, so main event, what did you think about it? Roxanne Perez taking on Chelsea Green. You know, we had Shayna, we had Chelsea, we had Michin. I thought this was not bad, you know. I thought it was not bad. A very solid episodes. Maybe not really much spectacular, but you know, I was entertained. I was very surprised how quick it went. Honestly, very so. I was sat here, I couldn't believe the time as it was just whooshing away. I think the main event was great, said Dro. Mitchell said, much love, I'm going to head out. Mitchell, shout out to you. I need to... Well, I'll put the... Rather than trying to get over to my second account, which is always a flipping nightmare, what I'm going to do is have a few final comments with you guys. Chuck Nasty, shout out to you, buds. We have a few final thoughts with you guys, and then get the results of this main event, and then I will put up the poll over on the other channel. Lots of wins for heels. Fallon beating Kalani. Lexis King beating Duke Hudson. Roxanne beating Chelsea. Lots of heel victories in the second part of that. William has been on the Mexican supplements in that photo. He has, hasn't he? Yeah, you're right. Anyone else notice that NXT streams seem more fun than main event ones? I think there's just less going on, to be honest. I mean, with the main ones, you've got QR codes that obviously, and you've got information coming in all the time. So as people are finding stuff with QR codes, you've got all this stuff happening, you know? And it just feels like there's a lot more. There's more people around. There's more comments. It's busier. With this, it's more chilled. There's not... I don't know. I feel like you can sit here and just chat, you know? I like the NXT streams because they definitely are different to the main roster streams. They're definitely not as hectic, not as busy. But I think they've got their own kind of vibe, you know? So, yeah, it's good. It's good. Johnny said, people don't like me speaking the truth about AEW. I'm gonna speak what I think, but they do try to silence me. Who? AEW? AEW trying to silence you, Johnny. That's a big story if that's true. That is big. AEW, if you're watching, stop trying to silence Johnny Autism Wrestling, please. Yeah? I've had a word, Johnny, for you. I've sent that message out there, so they should leave you alone now. James said, with Daze, William and me, no quarter catch crew wouldn't want that smoke, mate. We would mess them up. And I mean William, really, and you and me will just be in the background. William will mess them up, and we'll be there going, yeah. Get him, William, yeah. Al said, Cora, Jade would have been where Roxanne is now if she wasn't injured. I Am Your Father said, are you doing main event streams? Main event streams? What, the show on the network? I don't even know when that airs, but... So to answer your question, is it even still a thing? Do they still do them? Does that show still exist? They do NXT Level Up, which is covered by our friend Tommy Toy Travels. But I don't know if they still... I don't know if they do main event anymore. They were doing it last year, but I actually was waiting to see if they were going to bring it back. And a good few weeks into the year, it still hadn't returned. Was there a QR code? Yes. Yes. And it was. Sick. It was so good. Do you know, guys, this is controversial, but I'm going to say that's the best QR code that we've had so far. Call me crazy, but I think it's the best QR code that we've had in the whole Nightbird campaign. Jump in, Jeff Farmer said, it's the first time I've seen King win a match. Mr. Quake said, Obafemi is Oro Mensah's first opponent. Obafemi is Oro Mensah's first opponent. He's had matches before, hasn't he? Oro Mensah. James said, QR code said, we here. Yeah, but it was the way that it came through. It's so poetic. They still do main events, said Johnny. Yeah, I Am Your Father said that QR code was insane. Mr. Quake said, I'm a perv, but I respect women. Yeah, I feel that way. I'm going to put that on my tombstone. The NXT streams are what made me start watching NXT, says Missy. Well, I hope it's not really the way it should work, but I hope that has brought joy into your life. I think the Queen and King of the Ring are the main event, said Alex. Daze, AEW never tried to sign against me. I'm talking about fans trying to silence me. Oh, okay. I thought you meant Tony Khan had like a personal vendetta against you, and that won't be tolerated, Johnny. I won't have Tony Khan bullying anyone in this community. Right? If anyone in this community is being personally bullied by Tony Khan, he'll have to answer to all of us, right? That is an unwritten rule. The QR code tonight, when it told us the secret to life and showed us how wrestling celebrates it. So good. I think we all knew that the secret to life had a little bit of a wrestling connection, but to actually see it kind of spelled out that way. Wow. Angel said, I hope Braun Strowman is part of the Wyatt Six. Wolfrun, I am Grizz said, hope you're doing well. I'm good, thank you. Wolfrunian Grizz. Wolfrunian Grizz. I'm glad I've not been drinking. Wolfrunian Grizz, shout out to you. I'm going to call you the Grizz. We've got the Riz, you're the Grizz. Stephanie said, Daze, who do you think is winning King and Queen of the Ring? I'm going to go with Gunther and EO. Gunther and EO. But I don't feel brilliant about either. But Gunther, I feel a little more confident on. The Grizz said Tony Khan is the Drake of the wrestling community. James said, I'd slap Tony Khan so hard, he actually would turn into a competent booker. Richard said, will Roxanne Perez win over Chelsea Green, spelling something in time for Cora Jade to return to NXT? Cora Jade has to hurry before Battleground. The clock is ticking. Alex said, I hope Wrestling Daze is in the Wyatt 6. There'd be no more streams, would there? Or there would be, and I'd just do them from the Void, or, you know, wherever it is the Wyatt 6 are going to live. That could be pretty fun. What do the winners of King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring earn? Toy crowns. They should earn title shots. Yeah, but toy crowns are better, aren't they? If you think about it. I'm the Grizz, and I'm awesome. Very good. Thank goodness EO don't have to wrestle Gunther. That would be a hard match to watch. Yeah, even harder for EO's parents. Right, we're going to wrap this up so that I can run over and get that poll up for your thoughts as to what you thought about this show. Right, 47% for good, 32% great, 13% all-time, 6% bad. 94% goods. 94% good. That's what our main event got. And we are done. Right, we're done. Thanks a lot for joining us, my friends. I'm going to run off and start working on Unseen. I'm a bit behind, to be honest. That's what happens when you go to a pub and you have a steak and Guinness. No, it wasn't steak and Guinness. It was beef and Guinness. Beef and Guinness pie. And then you get back and you do a wrestling escape pod, and then you do NXT live stream. You do fall a little bit behind on Unseen. So I'm going to go off and start working on that. So appreciate the support as always. We'll see what's out there in the murky world of wrestling social media. And don't forget, we have, I'll have a toy hunt dropping on the channel on Thursday. We'll do a member stream as well. I don't know what's happening tomorrow. Probably another Unseen, of course. Unseens every day. And next stream, though, will be on Friday. Oh, God, this is strange, actually. From the moment I landed back in the country, I've been pretty much full on with, obviously, like, Thursday, like, making sure everything's set up and getting, like, stuff sorted. Friday, SmackDown. Then on Saturday, we did Backlash. Sunday, we had all the fallout of Backlash. Monday, we had Raw. Today, we've had NXT. Oh, I feel like I'll get a second to get a breath. I'll be able to blink. Lovely. So, but there will be stuff coming up, including, and I'm not just saying this, one of my favorite ever toy hunts. I can't wait for this toy hunt to drop. Even if no one watches it, I don't care. I still got to live it. So, I'm very excited for that. So, thanks a lot for joining us, my friends. Have a great few days. I will see you on Friday. I was going to say Saturday. I don't know what I'm doing Saturday. But, yeah, enjoy the rest of your evenings.